The following podcast is recorded and produced by Emerge, a media creators co-op, in affiliation with the network at bicbp-radio.com.
Welcome back to another episode of BillsAholic and you know, you make these episodes and it seems like the Bills just don't want to make it easy on us, huh? They don't want to come out and make it easy on us. Bills fall to the Broncos in rather lackluster fashion, but on the bright side this morning, some breaking news out of One Bills Drive. Offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey relieved of his duties. Let's just jump right into it, man. I mean,
We're free.
Are we free? That's going to be the debate
Half
tonight.
free, sort of
That's
free.
going to be the debate tonight, and so much to talk about, guys. I mean, absolutely so much to get into here. I mean, let's just get the table's thoughts. Well, first and foremost, again, we got John back on the podcast. You know, making his second appearance, he becomes the first person to make a second appearance. Yeah, he's got one more elevation before we have to keep him on the team here. His second time on the podcast. Welcome back.
Thank you.
We love having you on. Obviously, a full jam-packed episode that we're definitely excited to get into. But let's just get the thoughts on where we are with Ken Dorsey and the move. I mean, it's big news this morning on One Bills Drive. So kick us off, Travis.
He's a really sweet and genuine guy. Just not football guy. Just not Bills offensive coordinator football guy. I mean, you talked about on the way up. What was it, last season? He snuck right past us. We didn't even know it was Ken Dorsey.
I had no idea.
He kind of gave us like the awkward, like, do you know who I am? We were like, oh, that's Ken Dorsey.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that pretty much sums up where I'm coming from.
Yeah, bound to happen. It was
100%.
bound to happen. My only question is if we would have won that game, are we talking about Ken Dorsey?
I'm not sure if we're talking about Ken Dorsey.
I don't know.
I'm not sure if we're talking about Ken Dorsey.
Talk about our
Now,
defense
now
if we win that game.
Yeah.
What I will say is I am shocked that it's this week that Ken Dorsey's fired.
Yes.
I did think this. I thought it was coming. I mean, it just kind of felt like it was inevitable at this point. It just really felt like McDermott. I mean, I don't know if we listened to his press conference on the way back, and it sounded like McDermott's not really one to throw blame on a specific, in my opinion, usually one unit of football. But it felt very clear last night that the offense that he was not happy with the offense, and as he definitely should be. And it felt very clear who the fingers were being pointed at. And I was not expecting Ken Dorsey to be fired this morning. I thought for sure during the bye week that we were going to see something like this. But, hey, Joe Brady, we talked about it last week, Travis. Joe Brady's going to get his shot. He's the interim head coach. Whoa, I was going to say.
Soon?
Oh,
Too far ahead of yourself.
whoa. The interim offensive coordinator. And we'll see how that plays out. But he's got 7 weeks. Now, I have my thoughts about that we'll definitely get into here. But Joe Brady, the new offensive coordinator of the Buffalo Bills.
Feels nice. We kept it in the building. We had to.
Like always.
We had
Yep.
to.
I mean, you have to in this
You
situation.
have to right
This
now.
is completely different. You have to keep it. You quite literally have to in this situation.
See, now my next question is it a 7-game tryout? See how he does for 7 weeks? Decide at the end of the season if we're going to move on from him? Or is it possible like he can be our interim head coach or offensive coordinator? Sorry.
Dude, you guys.
Whoa!
Are we in
You
for
guys
something?
know? You guys know something?
Does
we
the
don't?
BillsAholicPod have some inside details that the rest of the world does not have?
We might soon.
Who knows? Who
Um,
knows?
But anyway, is it possible that he can be our interim offense coordinator and then decide like, no, it's not working out, go back to quarterback coach?
I would say at this point.
But I don't think Joe Brady would like that.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't really think the NFL typically works like that.
No.
Like
No,
I feel like if he fails the offensive coordinator, you're just you're just out of there kind of thing.
It would come down to McDermott, but I would have to assume they're going to bring in outside sources
100%.
this offseason.
I agree.
I got an idea.
Hit us.
Frank Reich.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Tank Cam is back, and just in perfect time for the statement. You don't want that.
On the offensive
don't
coordinator
know.
position?
You don't want him. He needs a break. He just
He
needs,
needs
time
a ta-
away.
I do agree with that.
He needs a
But
Leslie Frazier.
I don't know, man. I don't know. That idea always seemed interesting to me, but
Yeah, the home
We'll see.
summon. Yeah.
yeah, we'll see what Brady does.
So, I think to your question, I think what's interesting about Joe Brady getting this 7-game opportunity, I feel like for me at least, it's all going to depend on what really happens here at the end of the season. Like, yeah, he's going to get a 7-game shot at seeing what he can do. Now, we have to realize that you can't change a whole entire playbook in the middle of the season. There's going to be Ken Dorsey's. It's going to be still his offense, but it's going to be how the offense is ran. It's going to be different, I would say. But what I am going to say is like, don't you just kind of think if all fails with Joe Brady, maybe all fails with Sean McDermott, and it's a whole new coaching staff after this season? I mean, I feel like, and I'm not trying to overreact here, and now that we're at least 24 hours removed from the game, I feel like you look back, and Leslie Frazier, obviously we don't know the full story on what happened there, but there seems like there's more to that than what was led on. Kind of feels like a little under the table firing in my eyes a little bit. They didn't see eye to eye. And then you had their special teams coordinator who got fired. And this isn't even getting talked about a lot, but wide receivers coach Chad Hall leaves Buffalo and takes the same position with the Jaguars. I mean, again, not seeing eye to eye. Brian,
Something's got to be internal.
We talked about this on the podcast after the Giants game. The little short exchange in the middle of the field between Brian Daboll and Sean McDermott. At what point do you just kind of look and say, well, the offensive coordinator didn't work out, the defensive coordinator didn't work out, the special teams coordinator didn't work out, a wide receivers coach didn't figure out?
Standing?
I'm sitting here thinking, if all this isn't working out, at what point do you look in the mirror and you're like, maybe the head coach is the problem?
He's the
At some point, he has to be held accountable for what's going on with the staff, what's been going on with the players. And I know we're going to get into there's more to than just the staff. I mean, even Tank, we were kind of talking about this before the podcast. There's more to it than just the coaching staff. I understand you have to be able to execute the game plan week in and week out. We'll get there.
I'm just going to throw one thing at you. Coming from the coaches, is it possible that the Bills just had to make something happen? Things are failing. Oh, man, Heath Farwell, see ya. It was your goof. When really it could have been McDermott.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with the wide receiver coach. A lot of scrutiny not drafting a wide receiver. I do agree with your point. I think McDermott's time is winding, but I don't know. That's how I feel with this Ken Dorsey firing right now is something had to change.
It had to be done. Exactly.
They had to do something.
So I agree to that. Like, it just kind of felt like if they didn't make a move, it's like you had to.
Yeah,
you
it
had
to be done. Like,
you couldn't just sit back. You're on a 2-game losing streak. Your offense hasn't looked right since really before the Jacksonville game. It's something had to be done. That's 100% correct. It did feel like you're exactly right. Like, it just felt like if they didn't do it, it wouldn't have made sense to not do it. But
they had to make the fans happy somehow.
Right.
Because I, for one, was part of the booing when the Bills went in the halftime last night.
Oh yeah,
I was part of it.
Blame you.
Oh yeah.
Don't blame you at all.
I mean, I could spend so much time. I didn't even really walk out of the stadium too pissed off last night. I
get to the point where I just don't let it ruin my next day.
You can't let it ruin your next day. But the biggest thing is there's at no point in the NFL does a football team ever deserve to win the game when they get the turnover battle is 4-1 first off, and then the time of possession is I mean the Denver Broncos had the ball for 30+ minutes, and truth be told, it's completely embarrassing because the offense again doesn't show up right. And a depleted defense, again, keeps your offense in the game the whole entire way. The whole entire way. The Broncos could not do anything on offense up until the last drive, pretty much.
Not to mention your special teams gave up, was it 40 yards of plus-minus field there?
Marvin Mims running around.
Marvin Mims had a day.
I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, I think I saw that Steve Tasker the day before quite literally said, yeah, I wouldn't kick it to him. I mean, we're talking about which should be a Hall of Famer. Just gonna throw that out there, Steve
Right.
Tasker.
Right.
I mean, come on. It's like the little things.
It blows my mind, dude. Like, 'cause you're right. Like, it's little things like that.
Right.
Like, you know he's a solid punt kick returner. What are we doing
Statistically best
here?
in the league right
Yeah,
now.
what are we doing here? Like, that was frustrating. There was so much last night that was frustrating. The defense was the only bright spot, but that just seems to be the only bright spot year in and year out.
What about Reed Ferguson with the hit stick?
Reed Ferguson with the hit stick, getting up and then getting in the guy's face
Shout
was
out
electric.
to long snappers.
Was
That's
electric.
our long snapper, by
Now,
the way.
now
Gotta
what
get
I
the team
there
fired
was
up, man.
speaking of getting fired up, there was one thing I caught immediately off the bat that was different than all the other home games this season. Was they went back to the single player introductions.
Right.
Now, to me, I was like, oh shit, they're doing this because they want to get the juice flowing. They want to get these guys pumped up before kickoff. I will say, it did feel like I was all hyped up, but it felt like the single-handed, like the worst opening. I'm okay. Well, okay. Drew Bledsoe dropped the ball when it came to getting the crowd hyped up.
Hey, yo.
But I will say, between the introductions and then I know Stevie Johnson was trying to be cool and letting his kids do the chant to try to get us into it. But I felt like the energy wasn't there.
No.
Like the energy felt like it was sucked out of the stadium the whole entire game, as it should be. I mean, once the game started, it never got off to the right foot.
And if that didn't bring the energy down in the house, the first play of offense did.
What made them think to take the ball?
So
They've deferred
all season. Now here's my mindset, and I know this is gonna be maybe again this might be something where we're opposite.
Yeah.
But you come out, you've been struggling on offense for 4 or 5 games now. You come out and you take the ball. And I liked it. I liked it because you know what? Get your fucking offense out there. Go down the field and score a touchdown and never get behind against this Denver Broncos team. But how about this? You get out there, you fumble the ball on the first play, and then they get the ball on the 30 or 40-yard line, and your defense again holds them to 3. I liked the idea. I just
Don't get me wrong. I like the idea.
They're trying to
But
be aggressive.
No.
right
Just
But-
no.
now. There's some. I mean, there's single-handedly. There's just so much to talk about between the Dorsey and the coaching staff stuff. But then you just look at it on the other side of things. Josh Allen did not have a good performance last night. And while you could put the accountability, I like this.
Whoa.
Tyrod Taylor.
Felt like I was watching Tyrod last night.
John
I
got
brought-
props.
I like it.
It doesn't fit. You can ask Chris. It does not fit. But I brought it because, speaking to that point, I felt like I was watching the Drought Bills.
It looked like it.
Prime drought Buffalo Bills football right there.
Looked like it. Sounded like it in the stadium.
And then, hey, our quarterback this season's even playing like it. Tied the record with Ryan Fitzpatrick for most consecutive games with an interception.
Yep.
There you go, Josh. That's a stat that's a
Hey, who's
stat.
his buddy?
There you go. Exactly.
Right.
Guys,
Exactly.
nice
Both
stat.
of them. Yeah, I
Quick
know.
stat on that. Josh officially now has 10 games with 3+ turnovers.
Josh has also thrown a pick in 6 straight games. He has the longest active streak.
And the Bills are 9-16 when Allen has a turnover.
Hold on, time out.
They
Let me.
just keep going.
Hold on.
Can we get anything
Hold on. Hold on.
Chris
Hold
can
on.
pull something up.
Hold on. Let's go. 2-5 in one-score games this season. 8-14 in the last 3 seasons in one-score games. So we'll just keep the negativity rolling. I mean, we got. I mean, let's be real.
Leads the league in interceptions too, right? 11.
Yeah,
11.
He's back to leading the league in interceptions. Still leads the league in touchdowns, but what does it matter? Travis, you sent something. I almost fired back in the BillsAholic group chat. You sent something today, and it showed Josh Allen like first, second, and all these different stats. I wanted to say Josh
The
Allen's
picture's still there.
Josh Allen's first, second, and all these stats, and the Buffalo Bills are 5-5 this season.
I know. Hey, I was
because
I
your
was spreading-
quarterback.
I was spreading
'cause
some positive vibes.
I like
tried.
it. Your quarterback
I did
single-handedly.
get that nobody responded, so I was like,
Yeah.
I can try to help you out.
They're not
I
having
think
it.
they're still top 5 in EPA.
Hey, so
I'll be honest. I didn't know how to respond to it. I was just like,
well, I saw it. and
I
I was
like the
like,
positive. I like the optimism. I love it, but
I would-
it's tough time.
I know. Yeah, I was kind of sitting there. I was like, ooh. I was like, ah, God, does this guy not realize we're 5-5? Ooh. No, but I what the hell, dude? Like, the Bills lose by what? 2 points? 24-22? Yeah.
24-22.
Under it.
There's so many different things that you can like. If the Bills don't fumble the ball on the first drive, the Broncos don't get the ball in the Bills' territory. Right before halftime, if Josh Allen doesn't throw one of the worst interceptions I've pretty much ever seen him throw, they don't score a field goal before
I
halftime.
can try to make you guys laugh real quick. That play that they run was quite literally bench off of fucking Madden.
Oh, did they ran a little like little?
Yes.
Oh,
I know you guys know what I'm talking about.
Do you think
That
Ken?
is that same
Oh,
run.
100%,
I
100%.
think he plays Madden the night
100%.
before.
Well, I was gonna say,
Do
Do you think Ken Dorsey just kind of like he's like?
delayed halfback dive? Let's do it.
I say, do you think he goes home and plays? He just plays Madden and is like, oh, I'm adding that one to the playbook.
I don't know.
That's
man.
the one I'm gonna add to the playbook.
Like, it's so frustrating because he has so many bright spots where it's like this concept is really good and it's just okay, whatever, it didn't work. And then he calls these same plays. I mean, Allen's throwing 6 picks on the same play. And
He's-
Deontay Hardy and Gabe Davis corner route, it doesn't work.
I also want to add, Deontay Hardy is 5'6".
That's true.
What are you throwing a jump ball up to him for?
It reminds me of when he threw a jump ball to Pat DeMarco.
Oh my gosh! And against the Houston Texans, yeah, he thought that was a bright idea.
I don't know, man.
You see, sometimes I just kind of think like, yeah, they don't set up like Ken Dorsey didn't set up the best play call, but I mean, the part of it's also like Josh looked at that and was like, yeah, that's a great
throw.
idea.
That's the throw.
That's the throw. Not throwing this one away, not taking off and running, not hitting the check down
6'3"
That's
corner
my
against
guy.
my 5'6" wide,
That's my
5'6"
guy.
wide receiver
with
What
a
could go
safety
wrong?
over the top.
It
That's
goes
my
hand
guy.
in hand too. Like, you know, I mean, I know Dorsey calls a play. He's not a great play caller.
But Josh is a player. He
He's-
sees the
yeah.
field.
Yeah.
I get it. It goes
hand in hand, but
Yeah.
still falls on. They didn't have an identity, man.
I feel
You
like the Bills haven't had an identity this whole entire season. Like, I feel like they just go into the game and it's just like you don't know what the fuck's gonna
I'd
happen,
even go
dude.
back to last year. I mean, they struggled to run the ball. They kept running the ball, and they were still a top 5 throwing offense.
Right.
This year, just nothing worked. They couldn't run the ball until this game, really. And, I mean, we know what's happening when we're throwing the ball.
You know, yeah, right. Your quarterback can't seem to put it in his own guy's hands. What's funny is going into this game when the Bills ran for over 100 yards, they were undefeated this year. The Bills they were 8 yards shy from 200 yards rushing the ball this side. First off, when was the last time Josh Allen and the Bills have had more rushing yards in a game than passing yards? I wish I'd have gotten that stat. I don't know if you guys seen that. They
I
had
didn't see it. I didn't see it, but
I
that's
think-
disgusting.
I think they had 192 rushing yards and like 176 passing yards, if I'm not mistaken.
You know,
So-
it brings me back to Joe Brady. You know what Joe Brady will not do? Run the ball. He got fired because he didn't run the ball. I don't think that's going to happen again. So that whole rushing over passing, not on Joe Brady's watch.
No, remember the stat I had last week when we were talking about when we was with Carolina? Every single receiver had over 1,000 receiving yards. That's
Yeah.
like a franchise record.
He had 3 receivers go over.
and we
1,000.
seen him at LSU, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. Yeah, they're gonna sling that fucking thing, man.
So
They're
don't you
slinging the
worry, not no
They're-
more.
They're slinging the rock.
But will McDermott have a hand in that?
Now,
That's the question.
right.
Oh, you better stick to head
Right.
coaching and defense.
So, I guess we're going to be on the topic of slinging the rock. When you're slinging the rock, you're throwing the ball to receivers and stuff and tight ends. I got to talk about it. Because I got kind of crucified a little bit on Facebook last night because you know what?
This ain't the first time, man. What's with you? And
People don't you know what? The people don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. They didn't want to hear it.
Sometimes Facebook's toxic.
They didn't want to hear it when I called like when I originally called out Sean McDermott and I called out Ken Dorsey. The Ken Dorsey hate's always just been everybody kind of agrees with that, but the Sean McDermott hate, I got called premature for that. I got called like, "Oh, you're out of your mind." the one thing that blows my mind week in, week out in the last couple of seasons is I'm not a Gabe Davis guy, all right? He gets me sometimes. He will have me bought in for about 4 quarters of football.
2 weeks ago.
And then I will sit here and I'm done because you know what? And I wish the picture could be put up on the screen. But Ken Dorsey, Gabe Davis, the ball hits him right in the hands. And as a receiver, your quarterback quite literally cannot put that in a better spot. And the ball, and everybody probably knows the picture I'm talking about. It looks like it's a for sure catch, and somehow it's intercepted because you can't catch a damn football. He is by far the most inconsistent week in, week out wide receiver number 2 in the National Football League. Nobody can tell me otherwise because he's either there or he's not there. And you know what? I will back the whole. What I will back is the whole route. I understand the whole route tree thing where Gabe was running 90% of the time he was running 15 yards down the field, and that's the hardest. That's the picture. That's the picture. That's the picture. That right there, ladies and gentlemen. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, was a intercepted ball. That ball was intercepted. Ladies and gentlemen, that football.
Looks like he should be playing defense.
Guys, I have to ask you. The only Denver Broncos jerseys I even see is in row 3 and 4 in the crowd. That ball is intercepted. Your wide receiver number 2, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. There was a couple of drops last night. Gabe Davis had one. Stephon Diggs had one. I think the Stephon Diggs one was tipped at the line. The ball, I believe that one was tipped, so it just came out a little weird. And Dalton Kincaid did have one. And then I put the Gabe Davis hate on Facebook. And then, of course, 2 plays later, when the Bills are back on offense, or 3 plays, or whenever they got, Dalton Kincaid dropped it. So all of a sudden, I get a comment back. Oh, you're gonna hate Dalton Kincaid too? I was like, well, you're damn right. I'm not happy with Dalton Kincaid today. But at least Dalton Kincaid doesn't do that week in and week out. I mean, Gabe Davis, man, I am happy that we were on the last seven games of his contract because he should not get another extension with the Buffalo Bills.
Let's say he does as wide receiver 3, and we go out and draft or sign wide receiver 2. What if our wide receiver 2 is not on the team right now?
He's not.
He's not on the team, and I can tell you right now, the only thing I'll say about Gabe Davis is there is absolutely no way Gabe Davis
will settle for wide receiver.
Will settle for wide receiver 3 money.
Respectable.
Gabe Davis
Right now he deserves it, but.
Gabe Davis should probably go test the open market, not just because I don't want him, but because he probably will get money from somebody.
Oh, he definitely will.
But he should not get money from the Buffalo Bills.
You want him?
You could. Oh, you can have him. You can have him.
So let me ask you this: the Dalton Kincaid drop, same exact play. What if the roles were reversed and Dalton Kincaid's got picked and Gabe's fell to the turf?
I would be as mad, but what I will tell you is I'm
Make a mistake.
No, dude, it's not. It's just like, bro, it's not even the drops. It's the inconsistency of not getting on the board with a catch, or if he does get a catch, it's 2 catches for 12 yards. I understand in order to get the ball, you have to be targeted. But sometimes there's reasons why you're not being targeted, and that's because you're not getting open. And I understand that can be a scheme thing. That can 100% be your offensive coordinator not getting you in the right place at the right time to get the ball. That 100% could be true. But I've been scratching my head, man. It's like he's not showing me why he should get wide receiver 2 money. Like, I mean, you go look at a team that has a real wide receiver 2 down in Cincinnati. T. Higgins has been a great wide receiver 2. In fact, I'll be honest with you, T. Higgins is going to get
anywhere else.
T. Higgins is going to go get paid and get wide receiver 1 money.
Yes.
But
they're not affording him.
There's other teams around the league that have really solid wide receiver number 2 options, and the Bills really need to look at themselves and be like, you know what? We don't have a wide receiver number 2 on this team. Like, there's no way that – and if anybody has an argument that Gabe Davis is a wide receiver 2, I would love to hear it because the guy okay, yeah, he had a 99-yard touchdown against the Steelers last year, 97, whatever it was. That's cool. And then he played great in the playoffs against the Chiefs. That's cool. But there's a big gap in between those two games that I just said, brother. And I need more in between, at least more consistency in between for me to pay you some wide receiver number 2 money.
So I agree with you 100%. He might at best in free agency demand 10.5. Someone might pay maybe, but when you look at what he does for this offense, he's a 92% player. He's on the field 92% of the time, and I know he's inconsistent. I'm not gonna say he's not. I mean,
Right.
We see his stat lines. But the Bills' running game, I'm gonna be honest with you, is nothing without him. He is, I think, top. I wish I wrote the stat down. I think he's top 3 in effective block rate. I think it's
Tremendous blocker.
something like that. Whatever. Which again, I agree. That's not a wide receiver 2.
Mhm.
It's a wide receiver 3 duty. Shakir does it. That's how he gets his playing time. My only thing, we don't have another receiver. We're gonna have Diggs, Shakir, and Hardy. Those are the only 3 we're gonna have next year.
On the roster next year.
Yeah.
We'll have Shorter, kind of like his redshirt season. He's not
Right.
gonna ever get
Shorter,
activated.
bro.
Yeah, we'll decide.
But yeah, no, this offense is gonna look very different, and if you can get Gabe for maybe a 1 or 2, maybe 4 or 5 mil, I think you do it.
Mhm.
It can be a buffer, whatever. But I'm gonna be interested to see what Brady can scheme up for him, because I mean, 2 targets is like, I completely understand. He might have not been open. I didn't look at the all 22 breakdown, but I don't know. I think there's more there than we're really seeing. You know what I mean?
No, I don't
But
disagree.
I don't disagree
like-
with you.
Like I did say, like I was kind of getting at, was like I can understand that being a wide receiver in the league, I mean you can get schemed, like your scheme can get you open. That there's not a doubt about that, right? And maybe Joe Brady, like maybe the 7-game stretch is a big test for Joe Brady, but it might just be also as big of a test for a guy like Gabe Davis, that
The whole offense.
like the whole offense for sure. But like for a guy that's in his contract year, this could be the biggest 7 games of his career. Like he has a chance now, like a new offensive coordinator to potentially get turned up and maybe demand that wide receiver 2 money. But it's just like, dude, he's either got the best hands and catches the craziest passes, or it'll be like the easiest catches, and they're just like, nah, not right now, bro.
100%.
Not
So
right now.
these next 7 games, is there a way that Gabe Davis can turn your thoughts around on him?
If Gabe Davis is helping me hoist a Lombardi trophy above my head, you're goddamn right.
That's
But
about
in
it,
these
huh?
next 7 games,
That's impossible then.
I was gonna say in these next 7
Can't sell
games,
this guy.
in these
Can't
next
sell
7
him.
games, I'm gonna be honest with you. I want nothing to do with it. Like he could show me. I think a part of me is leaning towards just wanting to run a whole different offense, like as a whole. Like, and I think what starts with that is obviously 1, getting a different offensive coordinator in the building, but 2, it also boils down to getting new players on this offense that can do certain things. Like I would.
We brought Ken Dorsey what he wanted. We got him another tight end in the draft to go 12 personnel. We didn't really see it this season yet. We brought him speedy guys, Trent Sherfield and Deontay Hardy. They don't see the damn field. At least not Sherfield.
4 plays Hardy got last game. It's his second or third game.
We got him pass catching running backs. Yeah, they've caught some balls, but you're not seeing it. So we brought guys here. They just don't use them. Yeah, Trent Sherfield went off against the Dolphins, but that's his former team. That's expected.
What in my opinion, what is going off to you?
Yeah,
What are you talking about?
Because what did he do?
Game wasn't crazy.
What did he have? Like,
Well, it wasn't
1
a
catch?
crazy game, but he had
Doesn't
his 3 catch of the season against the
Well, I
Dolphins.
was gonna say because
Highlight
doesn't
of
Trent
his Bills career?
is
Yeah,
Trent
the highlight of Bill's career.
isn't Trent Sherfield quite literally under like 5 receptions on the season?
Yes. I didn't mean he went off. I meant he got his majority of his.
I get what you're.
I get you 100%.
Against the Dolphins.
I get what you're saying. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was excited about the Deontay Hardy and Trent Sherfield signings. I have a Deontay Hardy jersey. Who the fuck has a Deontay Hardy jersey? There's probably not another Bills fan in this. I got a guy that plays maybe 7% of the snaps.
If that.
I've got a guy. I have his jersey. All right. Now, maybe Joe Brady does get those guys involved a little bit more. And we see some of what – I mean, Trent Sherfield on the Dolphins, you're right. He looked like a real weapon. And he got to Buffalo, and he has not had a chance to do anything because he doesn't see the field. Now, I believe he got a little banged up at some point yesterday.
Ankle, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say yeah. And then who had the – oh, I was going to say Cam Lewis had a foot contusion. I wasn't sure if he had the foot contusion or the ankle, but I think you're right.
Yeah.
Sherfield had the ankle. I just maybe it does just boil down to a scheme thing. That's the luxury of where we sit right now is we have an opportunity to see if that's truly what it is, because it's going to change. Like this Jets game, you are going to probably see a different style of offense at the helm. Like Brady is going to have a chance to, I mean, get some of these guys on the field that haven't had an opportunity. But my one question is about Joe Brady. Does Joe Brady call from the booth, or does he call from the sidelines?
It's going to be interesting to see that because he's been quarterback coach.
Mm-hmm. He's been on the sidelines this whole entire season.
To be honest with you,
I want to see him on the sidelines.
I
want to see him in Josh
sideline.
Allen's ear. I want to see him in the offense's ear.
But why wasn't he doing that?
I know. I get it. I understand.
Why is nobody on the offense really doing that? I really do truly think, because those guys don't like to go into the press conference and point fingers. The Bills are so wired like that there's not a lot of guys that'll go into the press conference and openly admit that, hey, Ken Dorsey's the problem. But you can just tell by what feels like the attitude on the sidelines after the offense goes 1, 2, 3 now, or they throw an interception, or they fumble the ball, or they turn it over on downs. It almost feels when that offense is on the sidelines, at least when you're at the games. And you see, and even if you're at home and you're watching the games, you can tell because they pan onto the sidelines, and you look at other sidelines, dude. They're sitting next to each other. They're talking about.
They've been distant lately.
Who cares what they're talking about? But they're talking. They're talking on the sidelines. They don't look like they at least don't care about each other. This Bills team, they're like, I don't know if Ken Dorsey just had him completely mentally fucked. Like, I don't know. But the offense doesn't seem like it's been what it has been in the past. Yeah. Josh Allen certainly does not seem mentally where he was the last couple of years. There was a lot of different points on 550 last night that I thought were just incredibly interesting about Josh. Is like, you look at other quarterbacks in the offseason. Now, I'm not going to go too deep into this because it truly, like, I mean, Josh Allen's probably had the same offseason ritual for the majority of his career now. But you look at all these other quarterbacks that seem to train in the offseason and get together with other quarterbacks or other quarterback, like, mentors around the league. I'm not going to say coaches, but, like, you got those guys. Jordan Palmer, I think, is a big one. And Josh used to train with Jordan Palmer. I don't know if he still does, but, like, I don't know if you've seen. I don't know if you were awake for this part. The guy was like, "Well, all these other quarterbacks, they seem to, like, all they do is post the whole entire offseason. Well, they're training with their receivers, or they're getting together with these mentors and stuff like that." You got Josh Allen, who's seems to be doing a lot of other things, but I mean, the obvious. It seems to be doing a lot of the other things than some of this training. I mean, he seems to say, like, a lot of that has to do with, like, just getting his body right for the season. This offseason just felt weird, man. And I kind of, like, I heard it, and I was like, that it kind of had me thinking, like,
hearing it for the first time,
like,
it definitely makes
like
sense.
It's like you've been this close to the Super Bowl. Like, how bad do you really want it? Like, I don't know. Like, it just seems like they're just not. This season hasn't felt like they've been bought in like years past. Is what I'm getting at. Is what I'm really getting at. I know that's a long-winded kind of, like, story about what I'm getting at here, but it just feels like you look at the sidelines, they don't seem to have the energy and juice. And maybe, like I said, maybe that's Ken Dorsey just sucking the life out of the team. I have no idea.
Can we get a wall out of that? I got it last week.
I feel like sucking the life out of the team. Is that?
Whatever.
You already had the first one, bro.
I was gonna say, I feel like that's a safe phrase now on the podcast because he opened us up. With that.
You put on it.
Looked at you.
I was like, can we get a wall?
Oh,
Yeah.
damn! That's
What?
That's almost delayed like some of these Bills penalty flags.
Yeah.
Good call there.
Do you hear that? I guess Allen doesn't eat on game day.
What?
Really?
Yeah, I was listening to. I don't know. I was listening to something, and Allen said he doesn't eat, and then he obviously throws up before every game.
Right.
You guys heard that?
Yep.
Is is he just that weird? I just don't understand. Like,
You hear what Pat Mahomes has going on over there?
wearing the same draws.
Yes.
So would you rather wear the same
Yes.
draw and just be dirty, or just not eating?
He
No,
says
he said he cleaned them, right?
sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
You know,
That's still dirty, man. If there's a sometimes, right?
He's got
I
two
got it.
Super Bowls, so.
yeah.
So shit, Josh, wear the same drawers,
Wear
damn
the
it.
same draw.
Do
That's
something.
we figured out the problem.
Josh, are you wearing the same drawers week in and week out?
No, he's just not eating.
You don't even
No,
got to
he's just
wash
not
them,
eating.
homie.
I don't know, man. Yeah, no, this offseason just. I mean, yeah, the thing with Diggs was Diggs right? Who knows?
So what?
Ew.
So the question wasn't the question all offseason was like, oh God, why is Diggs making such a why is he doing this? Why is he calling out the staff? Like it just was such a big deal. Why? But the question at this point was, why is Stephon Diggs the only person questioning the staff? Like Stephon Diggs, I don't care what anybody says. Contrary to what Trevon Diggs says on Twitter, because that guy's
He's pissing me off.
Y'all saw what I said about him. I
he
can't
is
stand
quite literally just a keyboard warrior. I mean, the guy needs to focus on rehabbing his torn ACL and hoping that he can come back just half the player that he was before, and worry about the Dallas Cowboys because, like you said, the Dallas Cowboys will get knocked out in the playoffs really early on. I don't even know why he's worrying about the Bills, but Stephon Diggs might be the only Buffalo Bill on the offensive side of things that I think quite literally cares more than just about anybody in the building.
Yeah, he's a winner. He wants to win. That's what he came here for. Wasn't winning in Minnesota. He's with a new, young stud of a quarterback. Oh, he's like, oh, this guy's a winner. We're not seeing it.
Right.
And he's voicing his opinion, and I don't blame him one bit.
I was gonna say I will be honest with you, and even at first, on our perspective, you heard this like what was it the first day of mini camp that he got sent home? He got sent home for
Sean
he didn't-
McDermott's
he didn't
permission.
show up.
he
He
didn't
showed up
it-
at a meeting.
The whole entire media flips out. They make this whole story about Stephon Diggs being a drama queen. Oh, is Stephon Diggs not bought into the Bills? Oh, are the Bills going to trade Stephon Diggs? Are they going to cut Stephon Diggs?
Which we can't.
Which, by the way,
That was-
they
oh
they
my God.
he is probably stuck here for a couple more seasons. He's not going anywhere as far as that. But everybody made this big deal about it, right? And it was, well, you wear the captain on your jersey. This isn't a good look. Or shit, is it a good look, bro? Like I think it is a good look. Like the guy cares. The guy called out. Like he was like, why the hell are we not? Why are we not winning football games? Why is he the only person doing it? And then I'm gonna go on a little captain rant here because he seems to be quite literally the only captain that.
Say
I mean,
it.
you hear it all the time. You hear it all the time. All right, you hear it all the time. He's on the sidelines. He is probably the only player that when Josh does something stupid, he gets in his face and like, you know what, Josh, you be yourself because you're one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. He's in his ear being positive. He's in the rest of the offensive ear being positive. He called out the coaching staff in trying to hold them accountable this past offseason. I would say that's a damn good captain move.
Mm-hmm.
Where's your captain Gabe Davis in the locker room?
Exactly.
Your captain
there
Gabe
it goes.
Davis. Your captain Gabe Davis in the locker room last night gets asked for a media interview and he's whining and crying. I don't want to talk to the media. Fuck you, dude. Get in front of the media, bro. Get in front of the media. You should be held accountable too. Why are you gonna hide? You're gonna hide? You're gonna hide? James Cook too. He hide. Nah, I'm good, bro. I don't want to talk to the media. I don't want to talk to the media. Bro,
That is,
I
he
mean,
don't smile. He don't do nothing.
Jimbo doesn't wear the Sienna's jersey, but Gabe Davis does. Gabe Davis does. He should not be able to hide from the media like that. And these captains, you wear the captain for a reason. Am I right or wrong? Am I right or wrong?
You're
Because
100% right.
and the guy can't even can't catch a football, and he can't take accountability. I'm sorry, and it kind of leads back to like I had this weird feeling like I just feel like Gabe Davis. I mean, that's another reason where I'm just like scratching my head on why the Bills should re-sign him. Like last night, that itched me the wrong way. I go on Twitter and I hear, I don't know if it was from Matt Perino or Matt Bove or whatever it was, but Gabe Davis declines interviews. Okay, dude, stop being a little bitch for real, dude. Like. Yeah, okay, we lost. We're 5-5. All the Bills fans are pissed off. All the Bills players are probably way more pissed off than the Bills fans, as they should be, because this is what they work towards every season. But fucking, dude, you wear a captain on your jersey, and you can't even sit and talk to the media and address and take some accountability, dude. Like, it blows my mind. That absolutely sent me through a wall, dude. I'm not even gonna lie to you. But there's a real captain in the wide receivers room. Stephon Diggs is
worry
a real
about that.
captain. I'm not worried about that at all. Not worried about that at all. That's my little rant, dude. I'm all the more reason
I'm
to be
here
through.
for it.
All the reason to be more through with Gabe Davis than I've ever been was last night. Probably did it for me.
And this dude has a Gabe Davis jersey. He has 2 Gabe Davis jerseys.
I have a signed college jersey.
2.
I have a signed college
Let
jersey.
me just go on a little story tell right quick. We were at you were there. Remember? You probably don't remember, but McKenna will text me. She will remember. I think a summer or 2 summers ago, I tried to say, yeah, you know what, man? I don't think Gabe Davis is all that good. I kind of went on a little spiel. Ben stood up. You stood up and said, John, are you dumb? McKenna will text me in the next minute saying, yeah, that happened.
I
But
believe
to
it
your
did.
point, talking to the media, you got to do it. Nothing around that. I got nothing. I'm not going to defend him there. You got to talk to the media, Whether they're going to be nasty to you like they always are or not, it doesn't matter.
It's their job.
Go talk to the media, get it over with.
Mhm.
Same thing with James Cook. You put the ball on the turf twice. No way around it. Just go talk to the media. What's it? 5 minutes?
I was saying that maybe not even sometimes. Like
Say your spiel that you have to say.
So I gotta go hit the shower. Oh, there
Get
she
it
goes.
over with.
so, I will say I do remember that. I'm not gonna.
She says, "I remember." All caps.
Look, Ben. Low key.
So I'm not gonna deny that because 2 years ago, Gabe Davis hadn't had the shot that he's had now, right? So he's coming off of the best playoff performance in NFL history, 4 touchdowns. The guy absolutely lit it up. He wasn't really a wide receiver too. That was the year that they had Stephon, they had Gabe, they had Cole Beasley. Like that wide receiver core was a little bit more well-rounded
100%. Yeah.
than it was now.
We knew
And then
what we were getting out of each wide receiver.
Insert the last 2 seasons.
Mhm.
Gabe Davis was. It's like, okay, bro, like you're good. You're good.
You're next.
You're wide receiver number 2 now. Like you're and ever since then, I will completely say I can go in my text message with Ben, anybody. I can go into my text message the last couple of weeks, and I will tell you, Gabe Davis slander is something you see from me week in and week out. In fact, I couldn't find my Dalton Kincaid jersey in time to leave for work yesterday, and we wear jerseys at work on Bills game days, and I had the Gabe Davis jersey on because I was like, shit, I need to wear something. So I put it on, got to work, and people at work were like, bro, why are you wearing that? You don't even say anything nice about this guy. Like, why are you wearing this jersey? So it's known that I'm not a Gabe Davis guy now, but like I will own up to that because of course, dude, the dude came off of what, a 4-touchdown, 208-yard performance against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yep.
I was like, oh my gosh, if we get this week in and week out from Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs,
It's crazy. We completely switched. I was kind of against him. You were for him. But yeah, no. I my only question is what made the Bills think he was going to be a 2. You know what I mean? Like there was
That
such a
4-touchdown game.
small
I think
sample size.
I think it's the Chiefs game, dude. I really do. Like
gotta
I
be.
really think it's like I think they kind of were like, oh my gosh, we have something here with this guy because I'm not trying to be that
They
guy.
double up on Diggs. We have someone always.
I was
open.
just about to say, like Stephon Diggs is in every playoff game, he's the guy that gets the most attention, right? I mean, that's just that's obvious. And I think they were like, oh my god, like
got
we
that
have the guy that's gonna make defenses go, well, who do we double? Like we got to stop Stephon Diggs, but Gabe Davis is torching everybody, and it just never became that. Like, and we've said it. I mean, we talked about it on the podcast that you were on a couple of weeks ago. It was the Bills finally opened up his route tree. You're starting to see a little bit more short routes out of him, and that's cool. And I didn't even really dive into the routes and like because I know you can dive into see what routes were ran by what receivers on what plays and stuff like that. I didn't even really see what Gabe ran. Like I really didn't even see what they tried to get him to do yesterday. But I'm just there's so many reasons for me that just he sticks out like a sore thumb for me now, dude. It's just like 7 games. If we're not in the playoffs and 7 games from now we're done for the season, I will be happy to say that I cannot wait until he signs somewhere else. I really can't.
Okay. That is Chris's 20-minute spiel on Gabe Davis.
I'm so through with it, dude.
I think it like added up to like 20 minutes probably.
Yeah, so
You feel any better at least? Or?
I almost feel a little bit worse, dude, because the whole entire day, I can honestly say, like, the Ken Dorsey stuff made me feel like getting rid of Ken Dorsey was like, that put.
Oh, but we
that,
still got
that
Gabe.
took weight. That took weight off my shoulders. Like I feel like, dude, I was like, oh god, that's a move that I was really happy they made. And then I get on here and I start breaking it down. I'm like, God, I still hate Gabe Davis, dude.
He said, "Fuck Gabe Davis."
Exactly. I'm so over Gabe Davis. The other thing I'm over.
All right, I'll be his one supporter.
So-
it's fine.
I'm with you, bro. I'll take him in Indy.
So I will say this. Back to some Sean McDermott slander. I would like to go back to this game. I know we've spent
I got a question about that,
we've
too.
spent quite literally a long
you,
time
too.
on this Denver Broncos game, but I think it's appropriate. Sean McDermott. We're talking about coaching mistakes, right? The Bills, obviously, we've spent 40 minutes talking about the offensive coordinator position. Let's take a little bit of a look at the head coach position. A couple of key coaching mistakes yesterday that just drove me nuts. The biggest one being
That's my biggest one.
yeah.
Throw the challenge
There's
flag,
two,
Sean McDermott.
I got two solid ones. I guess the Rasul Douglas and T Higgins. The Rasul Douglas and Cortland Sutton
That was a
forward
fumble.
progress.
That was a
I either would have called it. I think it's more of an incomplete pass if you had to ask me.
When I was watching it, I was saying incomplete pass, and I'm with you. I
didn't even get-
cannot believe you don't waste a challenge there. I mean,
'Cause if
it's way too close.
I would say because and then but dude, you think you're like okay, it looks like an incomplete pass, right? But then I'm kind of looking at it, I'm like, well, God, he doesn't even really get possession of it, like after the first down marker. Like it looks like he's starting. If he does get possession of it, it's either right on the first down line or right before
I
it.
don't even think he got the
And
first
then
down.
to-
If I'm
exactly.
gonna be honest.
So the call of the first down is absolutely asinine. Then the call of the catch is equally asinine. And then your damn head coach on the sidelines
it's a triple threat.
is like, you know what? Nah, I'm not throwing the challenge flag because his dumbass threw a challenge flag the week before. Because in his tenure, I went on a rant about this last week. In his tenure, he is the worst coach when it comes to challenging things because he doesn't challenge things that he should challenge, and when he challenges things, he doesn't win them.
The ref and him were on my side of the field, and he was talking to the ref for a good minute or so. Challenge flag did not come out. So,
No.
And
No.
I was screaming up from the 300s, what are you doing?
No.
That also attests to the personnel watching it. I mean, you got to get those replays. and
The
say,
eye from the
go,
sky.
go,
Yeah,
go.
yeah, like you got to throw the flag, right?
I
Like,
mean, you see that a lot with the Bills.
seems to be a
I don't know.
problem. Seems to be a problem. Another problem.
It's,
Another big problem is the obvious one. You got the Broncos. They go down the field and get themselves in the field goal range. You get them into a position where, oh my gosh, they have no timeouts, so they're going to have to run their kicking team on the field and set up for a field goal. You would think, and at least I would think, and maybe I'm completely wrong, but if you had to tell me the team that was going to struggle and make a mistake or have too many men on the field, wouldn't you think that would be the team that's setting up for the field goal? The most important, like you're telling me,
what, they have like 19 seconds
And-
to get on the field.
and you're telling me the team that knew what was about to come, they knew they were about to rush their field goal team onto the field, is the one that gets caught with too many men on the field. I understand that that's accountability, that there's a guy that like was like, oh shit, am I supposed to be on the field? Am I supposed to be off the
I
field?
watched it back a couple times. I'm 95% sure it was Leonard Floyd.
Okay.
He was on the field for the 12
For-
12 man on the field. He was not on for the last kick.
Okay, so it was likely him. But I mean, at the same time, like as a head coach, are you kidding me? Like that's inexcusable.
Just the fact that he went to the post game and said, "Yeah, we practiced that."
At least 3 to 4 times this week.
That right there, yeah. He literally said he's like, we practice going out a dime and then going straight into a field goal block. You practice it.
Why bring your field goal unit out? Leave your defense out there. The chances for you blocking that are so slim.
Slim to
Just
none.
Stand there. Just stand there. Game's over. You win.
The Bills, if they just handle that correctly, somehow out of that disaster performance from the offense, would have pulled one out, and we'd be sitting here 6-4.
You wouldn't have a 34% chance to make the playoffs right now.
And here we are, dude. And here we are.
33.
I just think
33?
I just
Oh, I thought you meant like 34. It went up 1% because we won by
And
the
then-
field goal.
and then
Oh.
I thought
so
that's
what
you
I'm
meant.
gonna say right here is, and I just want to get into a couple of other mistakes that I feel like coaching mistakes / Sean McDermott, what the hell are you doing moments. I feel like in the press conference, again, I just feel like a guy that didn't take accountability. Like, I felt like he just kind of put, like, yes, he put the onus on the offense as he should, but there's also a level where, like, I feel like he could kind of eat some of it himself. Because one huge thing that I want to touch on was James Cook absolutely torched the Denver Broncos yesterday.
What
And
I
you're
say
telling
the
me-
week before?
You're telling me.
32nd and rush defense.
Exactly. And you are telling me James Cook fumbles on the first play. And you pull him for 4 straight drives. The guy hadn't fumbled the football for 27 straight games. Since his first career handoff, he hadn't fumbled the ball.
16 plays, 16 offensive plays.
That's how many he
Not
missed?
on the field. Yep.
You're telling me as a head coach, yeah, I know you're our most explosive running back. I know you're one of our best playmakers on the offense.
Go sit in the
But
corner.
get off the field. Ty Johnson, you're coming on. Ty Johnson, as soon as Leonard Fournette is ready, Ty Johnson won't even be on the team.
Yeah, he'll get waived.
Like you got to be kidding me. And that's a guy where James, we're gonna sit you down. We're gonna sit you down. No, if James Cook doesn't get sat down, there's a chance he goes for at least 150, 160 on the Broncos all day. He missed 4 straight drives. It's absolutely absurd. Absolutely absurd. And that starts with the coaching staff. That's 100% a Sean McDermott thing because Sean McDermott has done that for years in and years out. He did it. He gave James Cook that treatment after he fumbled on his first run for like 3 straight games.
Yeah.
It's absolutely sorry, dude.
Yep.
Like that is like
Feels like high school football.
100%.
You guys can attest to that.
100%.
Make one mistake, you're on the bench.
You're gone. You're gone. You're gone.
You
You're
didn't
gone.
do your 111th.
Exactly, dude. It's
Thanks,
it-
trait.
it blows my mind. And like I said, like if we're gonna go around holding people accountable, like Josh Allen for sure has to be held accountable. I understand that. Like I understand like this comes down to execution and stuff like that, but it just bothers me, man. I feel like I'm getting rubbed the wrong way, and it just blows my mind, dude. There's really nothing I gotta say other than everything we've ranted about for like the last hour or so.
One final question about the head coach. If there was one head coach that can replace Sean McDermott,
Eric Bieniemy.
I like that because he's in my top 2. I got one, Ben Johnson.
okay.
He's gonna be the hot name in this
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
offseason.
Ben Johnson, or I've said it all day, Ben Johnson or Eric Bieniemy. Either or, I'm happy with.
You got
Yeah, let's see.
Well, I was mostly asking because I've been seeing stuff all over
it.
about Brian DeBoll. Have you seen it?
I've seen it, but I would call it
That's why I was asking you guys because it was a pretty popular.
if he comes
topic.
back.
Me and Chris have a strong opinion about head coach Brian Dable.
Yeah, if he comes back,
not good.
I would
Not that guy,
probably
pal.
that I'd pack in probably immediately. Be like, all right, he's not fixing the job, and I know how this season ends.
Yeah.
We're
No.
drafting the top 3 if he comes back as our head coach.
But I've been telling Chris past couple weeks I'm a huge Ben Johnson guy.
Mm-hmm.
Huge.
Yeah,
He's brought up the Lions from nothing
Yeah.
to something.
Mm-hmm.
Jared Goff is his quarterback. Crazy.
I
Imagine what he could do with Josh Allen.
Yeah, they definitely need an offensive head coach for sure.
100%.
This time around.
100%. I feel like
I got one for you. Y'all ain't ready for it. I know it's a little just jokingly, but what if the Buffalo Bills went full Buffalo Bill for real? Go get Bill Belichick.
oh my God, dude.
Imagine the headlines on that one.
Weren't we
Holy
just talking
shit.
about that last night?
I would be crying, dude. I wouldn't know how to feel, but that's a move that I'd probably be like, God
I
damn.
would be like, yeah, I'm not watching a game because they will probably go 8-9 maybe.
Right, right.
He is so far in the past.
Josh Allen will quite literally turn into the next Mac
Hey,
Jones.
he was a Pats fan growing up. Maybe he'd be
Hey.
happy about that. I don't
He
know.
he
Yeah,
might.
no, Belichick's time is spent. I think
Let me put it like this.
it's another defensive-minded head coach.
Yeah,
by
that's
the
a
way.
good point.
So I'm.
It was just jokes, guys.
do
I like
like
it.
that,
I
though.
like it. I like it. You gotta add it. You
That
gotta
never
add it. This has been
crossed my mind.
this has been
Buffalo Bills for real.
this has been a fairly serious podcast, so I like it. Yeah, I would say probably Ben Johnson or Eric Bieniemy are my top 2.
I don't think they have a prayer at him though. He is gonna go stupid quick.
So
Both or
Both, I think.
so
I think Bieniemy stays in Washington.
I don't-
They're
I
gonna
think
kick
they'll-
Ron Rivera to the curb.
I think that'll happen there, and there's gonna be a team that hops on
so
fast.
my
like,
my
really quick.
my thing about it is one, you have to hope the Bills just actually do what they should do, and that's
Nah, I don't.
get him out. And they're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna.
I think we all know that.
I think
But the
I
ceiling
think
is the playoffs for Sean McDermott.
Yeah.
He's not getting us
100%.
past that. That's
So-
and they got to realize that.
so. I really truthfully feel as if Terry Pagula loves Sean McDermott way too much to pull trigger. I don't think Terry Pagula has the balls to get rid of Sean McDermott. Sean McDermott is the token child as far as, well, I broke the drought. Well, you know what? Other than that, name an argument to me right now that you could tell me and be like, we got to keep Sean McDermott, because that's about the only thing I think. And at least unless I'm wrong, over the last 6 or 7 seasons, that you can make an argument and say that he should be the head coach next year for the Buffalo Bills, because they've been bounced out of the playoffs every single round. I mean, every single year that he's been in the playoffs. This year it looks like shit. They probably won't even make the playoffs. Right now, the Bills have won from being in playoff contention, division contention, and they still are. That's the craziest thing. Like, they're still a game and a half behind from the division. But they currently, I believe, held like the 10th or 11th overall pick in the draft. Well, let that sink in.
That's okay.
Let that. I want that.
alright.
I want. And I've been.
That's wide receiver 2.
I've been telling. I told Travis the whole entire
That's
way up.
safety.
I told Travis the whole entire way up. I was like, damn, that's actually kind of cool. But what comes with that is you're not watching postseason football. So,
Well,
Hey,
but
will be.
well, we will be.
Yeah,
We'll be
will be.
watching the Bills.
I'll be watching the
Well-
Dolphins in the playoffs rather than the Bills.
well, like you said on the way up, it gives us more to talk about in the offseason.
It does.
Yeah.
So
It does.
I'm here for it.
It does. That's the joy. That's the joy of it.
Tons of mock drafts.
Tons of money.
Minus McDermott's head coaching duties, I have written down here. I texted you during the game. That was his defense is masterful. I mean, there's no other way
There's no
around
going
it.
around it.
The
No.
only thing I didn't like was the third down cover zero blitz. That you can weigh your options there, because if they back off 7 yards and give up first down, we're complaining that he's playing soft.
Right.
So at that, I mean, it is what it is.
Mm.
Minus that, I mean, you mentioned time of possession, down 5 starters. DeMar Hamlin played. I have written here
Guys, tackle.
Dane Jackson and Cam Lewis. I mean, Jesus.
And that team kept you they kept you in the whole entire game.
Gave
No
up
surprise
24
there.
Points.
They gave up 24 points.
And they
And-
only allowed 6 points off of the 4 turnovers.
Yeah, and
It's unheard of.
That's
It
unheard
doesn't-
of.
That doesn't happen.
100%. You do not hear about that in the NFL. You turn the ball over 4 times, you better expect your ass to get blown out by at least 4 possessions.
Yep.
And the Bills damn near almost won the football game.
Yeah.
So,
That's the
Tells a
only
lot about your defense.
And
It does.
McDermott in his post game, like you were saying, that's the most fire. Like he didn't give his we got to play complementary football.
no, it was different. It
That
was.
was way different. That's why I kind of figured something was gonna happen, but
Well, it comes to
Yeah,
the point where like
I-
you got to be.
yeah.
Fans are sick of hearing it, but it comes to the point you got to be sick of saying it.
oh,
Right.
100%.
Right. I mean,
100%.
it like you could tell. You could really tell from the get-go. It was like when he stepped up to the podium and immediately, like, McDermott is not a guy to go around to throw and blame on
It's
one
that
one side of the
family-friendly
football.
locker room.
Yeah.
It's always been, well, you know what, we have to play more complementary football. And when he says he says that, you assume you know what he's talking about that's holding them back from playing complementary football. But he came out and just he made it real clear that the offense pissed me off, or I'm not happy with the like it was evident.
Yeah.
It was evident. And then he praised like the defense as he should. He
Which
gave
he
the defense
never
praise,
does.
which he never does. You're
'Cause
right.
That's like his standard.
Mhm.
So for him to go out there and say, yeah, we played good defense,
Yeah, those guys. I think his exact words were, "Those guys played their asses off."
Yep.
And
and that he was proud of them.
yeah, and I think that's a little bit of. I think he was probably like, "Damn, I coached this defense up. This defense played a phenomenal game. They kept us in the game the whole entire time. The offense again does not show up. Like, that seemed like a little shot, bro. Like, I'm gonna show all this love to the defense, but that offense sucked. That offense absolutely sucked today. And I'm just it felt like a little bit of a like when we were walking back and we're all talking about like we're talking bad about McDermott, and that felt a little refreshing in a sense to hear him say what he said, because he's never gone about that in the press conference. So it did feel a little bit different. But
There was a fan by me towards the end of the middle of the game too. I've never heard this before. He comes out and says, "We paid to see this."
Yeah. I mean,
I've never heard that
since I've been a season ticket holder
coming from
member.
a Bills fan.
Since I've been a season ticket holder member, the Bills.
We paid to see this.
I can tell you. I've watched. I've been a season ticket holder since the Houston Texans playoff season, so I've watched maybe under 10 losses, in my time of watching Bills games in that stadium, and I will say the crowd. I don't remember the last time I ever heard them get booed off the field at halftime. It's definitely been some time. It felt different last night, and you could tell there's a sense of urgency from the fans for sure. Like as far as like, do we need to get our shit together?
Well, it's funny because you got this dude over here saying that, and then you got this random drunk guy at the end of the game. Well, we should have drafted Bijan Robinson. This is why we lost. We should have drafted Bijan.
Sometimes they just don't make sense up there in the 300s, man. That's not. Hey, I want to make it clear I would say that's not 200 and 100 level talk. Those tickets are a little bit more expensive, so I feel like as you get a little bit lower, the people just get a little bit less drunk.
Because you never know what they're gonna say.
Right.
Well, we didn't trade up to the 1 through 10, so we couldn't draft Bijan.
They wouldn't give him the ball anyway.
No.
I say half those fans have
Falcons
no
aren't
idea
even giving the
what
ball.
they're
It's all Tyler Algier.
I was gonna say if Atlanta, who has him, isn't giving him the ball, Ken Dorsey when he was here definitely wasn't giving him the football.
Bijan, I don't have any mustard on me today.
That is pitiful there.
It is. But hey,
it was just a little nugget I threw in there.
On to some brighter things, man. What are we going into week 11 of the NFL season?
Sticks.
So that is insane. I mean, Travis, we look back. This is going by this is going by a blink of the eye. I mean,
thank God.
We are thank God, but in a way, these podcasts are flying by so far, dude. I mean,
14 weeks ago, as a Bills fan, I would not say thank God, but yeah, thank God.
Right, but it's insane. We're going into week 11. We got a pretty damn good football slate ahead of us. And why don't we dive into those weekly pick'ems, boy? All right. Travis, last week, edged me out again. Nothing new there, huh? Travis edges me out. Let's take a look at this.
Hey, are we picking NFL games or NBA games, Travis?
Yeah, what is your deal? Yeah, what is going on here?
What's your deal, man?
We are like an hour and 3 minutes into this, and I
didn't want to be the first one to bring it up, but we made it way too far to address.
How is this not getting addressed? Flip the hat around too, bro. Show him.
Look,
talk to him, man.
This is something the Bills aren't used to. Champs.
Oh,
wow.
Champs. My grandma texted me an hour ago. Is that a basketball jersey you're wearing? Damn right it is. Because I'm repping a team that knows how to win.
Damn. You know, you're repping a team that knows how to win. You're wearing something down there. You are wearing something that Gabe Davis shouldn't be. A starter.
Oh!
A starter.
That's tough, man. That's tough.
Champs, baby.
And I'm wearing Bruce Smith.
Yeah, I couldn't. I couldn't do it.
You can't talk bad about Bruce Smith.
No, you can't.
I was gonna say, good luck.
You got to bring it back to the glory days because it's looking like gloom and doom, man.
Yeah.
Tough.
Hey.
Hey, get off my chest.
We are.
Sorry, I had to bring it up.
It's good for good content.
Travis, I don't see the Warriors anywhere on the schedule here. All right.
Yeah. Well, apparently the Warriors, the only scorer on the Warriors is Curry. So, it's been about 11 games. There's only been one player on the Warriors that scored more than 20 points. It's Steph Curry.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Pitiful.
Wow.
That team is.
Is he hurt now too?
Yeah. His oblique.
Oh, please. What the?
Yeah. He should be in the MVP conversation, but since they're doing this, he's not.
It's a long season, man.
Speaking of a long season, all right. So last week Travis went 11-3. I went 10-4. It was a better week. You know what I want to make known? Now that the attention's on the board, right?
The board stays hot.
The board remains undefeated this season. It started off with Jack putting the Browns over the 49ers. And then, didn't we swing it with a John Peretti prediction with Dalton Kincaid? And then after that, there was one more prediction last week. I had Texans win over the Bengals. C.J. Stroud goes over 300 total yards and 2 total touchdowns. The guy threw for 300. Oh, I think it was like 350, and then he had a touchdown. He had a passing touchdown and a rushing touchdown, and the Texans won. That board remains undefeated.
Hey, real quick, we don't gotta spend too much time on this. Now we obviously just hand him the Offensive Rookie of the Year trophy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Should he be in the talks of
100%.
MVP?
100%.
15 touchdowns to 2 interceptions, and he's coming off of beating some of the best football teams in the NFL. It's kind of hard to keep him out of it, right?
It's crazy because, like, you look at all these other quarterbacks and just there's not one close.
No, there's not.
Maybe Lamar if you want to stretch there, but that's like it.
I don't think
This might be your first ever Offensive Rookie in the Year and MVP.
that would
I think
be
the last time
so
was
badass.
Like, it was before that. If it was like 1930 something, they were
Yeah, don't
saying.
count that.
So it doesn't count.
Yeah.
So you're right. It's the first time.
So,
potentially.
I have quickly found myself.
American football.
I've quickly found myself to buy it. I'm bought in on him. I mean, if I'm a Houston Texans fan, like I would be jumping for joy because that guy is something special. He is something special at the quarterback
I will
position.
say,
man.
shout out Casey. He did put me on 'cause I can't stand Ohio State.
Me neither.
Can't
dude.
stand Ohio State. Don't
You
hate.
guys
Don't
got
like
a
the
problem.
Nah, forget Ohio State.
OH.
And forget about the quarterbacks that they normally
They
produce.
produce out bums. Casey
Exactly.
told me this one's different. Shout out Casey. I'm bought in.
I'm
Streak is
preaching-
done.
I am bought in
Yep.
to C.J. Stroud as well.
Oh, definitely.
I'm preaching the Texans money.
In
though.
fact, I wasn't week 1 though. I will say this: I was not bought in week 1 when I heard Travis picked him up in his fantasy league. I was like, bro, what are you thinking?
Dynasty, by the way.
And all of a sudden, Travis looks really smart. Travis, you believed
Sixth,
in him.
7th round.
You seemed like you believed him
Watched
from
him
the
drop.
jump, man. From the jump.
Glad I got him.
What kind of league are you in?
But all right,
Dynasty League.
I wanna do one of these,
We'll,
bro.
We'll talk about it off air.
Oh, I was about to
We'll get into it.
say,
Yeah.
man, no way he's dropping 6 rounds.
Fun guy league, man. You never know what's gonna happen.
Respect.
week 11 kicking off. Bengals at Ravens. Huge AFC North matchup. Thursday night football. I mean, I picked against the Bengals last week. A guy like me is probably picking against the Bengals again. I just don't see the Baltimore Ravens losing this one.
I for sure am.
Although the Ravens dropped a game, they dropped a game against the Browns. Does this Cincinnati Bengals team walk into Baltimore and win?
No. I don't see the Ravens losing 2 games in a row. Lock it in for me for the Ravens.
So we got a Ravens.
I'm pretty sure just Cleveland is their kryptonite.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
You know, well, I'm gonna.
That's that.
Yeah. No, it's kind of funny. So my buddy Sean's a Browns fan, and he texted me and was like, I'm so over them. I'm turning the TV off. He turns the TV off. He doesn't really go on social media much. And I sent him the screenshot of, like, it was, actually, I probably have it right here. But it was a picture of the Ravens flexing after getting, like, a pick six. Scores 31-17, 9 minutes, 6 seconds left in the game. And then 9 minutes and 6 seconds later, Browns won 33-31. I sent it to him. He goes, no fucking way. I was like, yeah, dude. You guys just knocked off the Ravens. But I agree. I don't think they're going to I really don't see the Ravens dropping 2 straight here. Huge AFC North matchup. The AFC North might just be the toughest division. And
I actually
not far.
picked Cleveland to win the Super Bowl this year. I can't lie.
whoa.
Yeah.
And
How
that
much
brings
did you
us
put on that.
Nothing. I just at the beginning of the year, I'm like, yeah, Cleveland's gonna win.
So then I guess that's no better way to jump into the first game of the Sunday 1:00 slate. Steelers at Browns. Now, of the AFC North, I'm going to tell you the Steelers are the biggest frauds out of them all.
I can't.
Bottom metric in almost every stat.
Like, that team is 6-3 somehow.
Offensively, at least.
They got a better record than the Bills. I understand it. The one thing I'm going to point out that I find absolutely hilarious is Matt Canada has been sorry for multiple seasons in a row, and they haven't gotten rid of him. I love that. I love for the Buffalo Bills that Ken Dorsey. I almost just said.
You already
oh,
forgot
his
his
name.
name.
He's in the
He's
past.
done.
I'm a 1 week at a time kind of guy. Ken Dorsey got fired this morning.
Who?
Who's Ken Dorsey? Because I'm focused on the Jets, Joe Brady, and we're gonna cook something up.
1-0.
against the Jets. But I just find it funny that he got fired after his 1.5 seasons as the offensive coordinator. It just didn't go the way the Bills wanted it to, and Matt Canada's just chilling up there. I understand you can't fire him when you're 6-3. that's
Yeah, that's a
No,
tough,
you
that's a
can.
tough spot.
you can, but
You can.
Mike Tomlin doesn't. He doesn't have the balls.
I don't think they could punt the ball every time and find a way to win a game. I mean,
They have
That defense
that's
is
I would say
so
that's
crazy.
another team
You're
that
picking
has
Steelers?
oh God,
I'm picking the Browns.
Browns.
Browns across the board.
I think the Browns and the Ravens are the two best teams in that. Oh.
That's gonna be. I'm smashing the under on that game, by the way.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm just gonna put our order real quick. Travis.
I don't know, fully healthy Bengals team, bro.
They
I
scare me.
just can't get past.
They scare me.
I can't get past because they're hurt again. T. Higgins is hurt,
He was.
Jamar Chase
He
was
didn't
banged
practice
up,
today
too.
again.
so. It's
So
tough.
glad I dealt T. Higgins away.
To
Dodge
me.
that bullet.
To me.
Jeez.
Not a dynasty league. That's
something you-
That's
Shut
a
up.
that's a
guy-
normal league. Bears at Lions. I got a feeling this is probably
still sipping
Ty-
the Lions. Cool.
Lions.
Tyson
Bagent?
Bagent. Tyson Bagent. Do you got enough to walk into Detroit and get it done?
No.
Not a chance.
Nope.
Not a
Not
chance. You
at
heard it here
all.
first on the BillsAholic pod.
Super cool story though.
It's
Yeah.
like cool story, bro. It ain't happening again.
He's got a cool graphic. He's one of the first players I've seen. Just he's got his beanie on.
Well,
I don't know if you guys seen the
you
other
talking about
day.
like when
You
they put
don't
him at the
watch
bottom of the screen or
primetime, Bears games. but-
Yeah, we
I can't say I can't say I do.
I don't tend to invest my time into that too much.
I was like, oh, he got a beanie on. That's pretty cool. You missed the game, though. You skipped one.
Oh.
Raiders, Dolphins.
Not the first time we've done that, where we've like jumped over
The
again and we go
Raids.
back to it.
The Raids.
Yeah.
The Raids, the Raids versus the
I
Dolphins.
think there's a reason we skipped this one.
Now hear me out.
Oh,
No
O'Connell?
Hear me out.
oh,
O'Connell against the Dolphins?
Hear me out.
stash guy.
Put it on the board?
Hear me out.
I'm a fan of his too, bro.
The Las Vegas Raiders.
I'm mad that you picked him up.
They walk into Miami.
Part of the evil plan.
Hear me out. They walk into Miami. They walk in your trap, and they take over, baby. Just win, baby, win. I'm going with the Las Vegas Raiders to beat the Miami
Are we going
Dolphins.
to put it on the board?
The Raiders.
Are we going to put it on the board?
Yeah, that's board material.
Is that board material?
Oh, yeah, early.
Chris,
God, third game in?
back with the
Because I picked the Dolphins.
Yeah, I got the Dolphins.
11-point spread. He just gritted it. I don't know if that's a good sign.
I think I peeped the Mike Gesicki gritty.
that was the Mac Jones.
That's the Gricky.
The Gricky.
McGriddle. This might be your first board that doesn't
First
hit.
board miss.
He was feeling himself, and now he's.
He might be
I backed him
overconfident.
on the Texans money line. This one,
Raids over the Dolphins, baby. You heard it first here on the BillsAholic.
What's the reason though? You just feeling it or?
So I'm gonna be honest with you.
Is that a spite?
No,
Is
that's
it
not even
1.5
out of spite.
games back?
That's not even out of spite. That's obviously I'm putting it out in the universe because I want it to happen. But at the same time, I know the Raiders haven't really played anybody too crazy since they made their coaching change, but that locker room seems to be a little bit more bought in than they were just 3 weeks ago.
this always happens though.
I know it always happens, but give it to me, man. Raids over the Dolphins. Just win, baby, win.
Respect it.
Score prediction.
They gonna be smoking those cigars again in the Miami locker room this time?
I'm never good when it comes to this.
Max Crosby sure wasn't smoking a cigar.
We know what he's smoking. You can tell by the smoke.
So
Tell by the way he was rolled.
I don't know. Like I'll
They're in
take
an interview.
I'll take 28, 20, 23. The Raids.
Oh, they're just putting them under 30 points.
Not even covering the spread.
I don't really buy into the whole trying to
like
predict
it.
the score,
I
bro.
like it.
I'm
Sure, you gave him a shot.
I'm more of a predict the outcome kind of guy. All right,
with
and I know the Dolphins will probably just walk in. They'll just probably walk all over the Raiders,
Off a bye, too.
off of a loss too. There's just no way that the Dolphins probably lose this game.
You guys excited to watch their Hard Knocks in season?
No, I mean I probably will watch it, but I probably probably gonna do the same thing that I did the Jets Hard Knocks, and that's watch an episode and a half and be like, God, I just fucking hate these guys. It seems
It's entertaining, man.
it is entertaining, but I
long
found
as
myself
they're in
like
division.
I'll go on. So by the way, I got HBO Max, big HBO Max guy. It's just Max now.
You mean Mox? Just Mox.
I'm gonna say this. I found a new show on there that I've been binging the last couple of days. All right, Chernobyl. Kind of a fire show. I don't know if any of you guys have watched it. Kind of
What's
a
it
fire
about?
show.
Sounds like some type of food.
Put us on.
Oh, bro, this is one of those type of shows where you definitely can't eat food while you watch this show. It's about a power plant. It's some plant in Russia that explodes and it's super radioactive and it's a true story. It actually happened. And it's still radioactive to today. Like people,
I might check that shit out.
people got evacuated, dude, and it's real interesting.
How many seasons and how long the episodes?
Well,
are
it's
talking?
a series.
Oh,
It's a limited series. It's only like 5 episodes. It actually takes you right through like the events of what happened to the first day
The
versus
docuseries?
It's like a docuseries, but it's a show. It's kind of like drama in a way because they go through the whole thing that happens and then they go to the court and like try to somebody was at fault for that, right?
You.
But anyways, the point of me going on about Max was every time I go to watch that show, the Jets Hard Knock, it says episode 2, and I'm like 2 minutes in, ain't never went back, and I'm not going back now. Training camp was a jump ago, man. I'm not going back now. I'm not watching that shit.
I did that with the quarterback one.
What? The quarterback was
good.
fire.
I got bored.
All right.
You're going to get bored of this game? Tennessee and the Jags.
Tennessee and the Jags. The Jags let me down last week, bro. They're part of the reason that I didn't tie your record
Did I
last
pick
week.
the Jags?
That was
No.
the easiest bet of all time.
Me and you went 49ers and went
3
Jags.
points?
Oh, they did play Niners.
So that was that was like our other split that just kind of fucked us up a little bit.
That was the easiest lick.
What you got? Trevor Lawrence don't play well at home, man.
Like, does it have to be the Jags or is it Tennessee? Does Will Levis walk in? Does he walk in your trap and take over?
No,
Mayo all over the place.
no, I'm over here jagging off.
Okay.
Are we all
Jags,
jagging off?
man.
You got to love that.
Yeah, I love it.
Just a couple of guys in a room jagging off.
Guys in a
Jagging off.
Straight line, jagging off.
Just
I hope
jagging off.
Jacksonville loses, though. I hope they do.
Wouldn't mind seeing them lose. Just
They got a
boring.
tough schedule, man.
They do.
Dude.
Not as tough as us.
It is.
It is?
They're ranked, yeah. They got Bills second, most difficult. Jags won.
Damn.
They still got to play the top dogs, too.
Right. That brings us to the Chargers at Packers.
Yuck.
The Packers just last Sunday, I watched, to be honest with you. We stayed up late, really, really late the night before. We had a Friendsgiving. We played cards. We stayed up pretty damn late. I got home and I was like, damn, I'm probably not gonna wake up very early in the morning. Woke up, watched a second of that football game. Olivia changed the channel. I fell asleep again. It was kind of like one of those days where you stayed up way too late the night before and you really didn't get out of bed till like 3:34. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever done that before, where you just sleep the whole day. Well, the Packers game had me sleeping, bro. I told Olivia, I was like, you know what? We'll eat our Thanksgiving leftovers. I'll watch this 2 seconds of football. I don't even need to watch this game. Packers and Steelers, I had no interest. I have no interest in watching this game either. Because I'm going to be honest with you, the Chargers should beat the Packers, and I think they will.
It's a long way to get there. We found it, though.
We found it.
Yeah.
Are we all going Chargers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Packers.
I'm not going to be shocked if the Chargers charger, though.
Yeah.
But I will say that Chargers-Detroit game was phenomenal to watch. Don't know if you guys watched that one.
Watched a little bit of it.
That was phenomenal.
I, again, didn't catch that.
It also,
I didn't watch a ton of football on Sunday because like the Bills don't
Oh.
play.
Yeah, I hear you.
So,
But I watched a little here and there.
normally I would. That was just a tough
Yeah, I'm
day
gonna
for me,
be
bro.
honest with you, I sat on the computer and did my homework.
Good
That's
man.
my nose,
But I did go back and watch all the highlights because I look at fantasy and I have Amon-Ra and Keenan Allen. I'm like, I got to know what happened. One scored 30, one scored 40. I'm like, I got to go watch this.
Like, you got to see what your boys did, huh? Cardinals at Texans.
Real quick, I was about to ask, because they're saying LaFleur might be on the hot seat. Is that somewhere you'd be interested for the Bills,
Ooh.
potentially, if it does come down to it?
Not
I
a
mean-
head coach.
No, not a top dog.
The way he manages his team is just, terrible. He couldn't.
You see him without Rodgers.
looks like Belichick without Brady. To be honest with you.
That's a fair comparison, I'd say. That's an interesting. Like, you get him a good quarterback, who knows? But he also had a solid quarterback and one of the best receivers. So
Yeah,
and both are gone, and he seems to be not doing anything.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Maybe he'll lure Devontae Adams to Buffalo.
We would need a more aggressive general manager to make something like that happen.
Yeah, we would also need cap space for that.
Yeah,
There's two aggressive GMs right here.
and two very aggressive general managers right here: the Cardinals and the Texans. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not going off the Texans wave, man. I'm still gonna
Texans money line.
I'm going with the Texans. I am going with the Texans.
They're showing me enough to not root against them.
Exactly. I can't pick.
Yeah.
I can't pick them last week against the Bengals and then have them losing to the Cardinals. Like, that's just
gonna slow Kyler down, huh?
If I wasn't preaching the Texans money line, I was gonna go Cardinals here because the Texans are bound to drop one.
100%.
But
This would be the game.
I think this might be the game, but I
Come back down to earth.
Go back with the Texans.
All right. Cowboys at Panthers. The Cowboys just ran through the Giants. They just ran through them. That was another game that I caught just a glimpse of. Before the score got real out of hand, I had to drop my little brother off, and my dad had it playing on the TV.
They got to be setting some flowers out to the schedule makers or something, right?
Right, because they've been dealt an easy hand, if you had to ask me.
And of course, we got to watch that on Fox. You know,
they're America's team.
Yeah.
Next up is America's Game of the Week.
Carolina.
It's like, and it's this. It'll be this.
It's just the Cowboys, actually. We're just going to show you Dallas. That's it.
God, no split here, right?
There's absolutely no split.
All right, let's keep moving.
We'll say this, and the Cowboys will find a way to lose.
They did lose to the Cardinals earlier on the season. We'll just throw that out there.
Hey, that was Dobbs, though.
It was
Dobbs.
He's in Minnesota, and he'll get his win against the
that was on the road too, right?
Broncos.
The Bronx.
Yeah, the Bronx.
Last game of the 1 o'clock slate.
The
Another NFC East matchup. You got the Fighting the Bulls versus the Commanders. I'm gonna go with the Commanders. Give me the Commanders.
Give me the
Yeah,
Commanders.
go Commanders.
Left hand up.
It just can't.
Dude, actually, I'm switching, man. I think I'm going to go with the G, man. Yeah, I had to think about it for a second.
What's the reason?
Saquon's due. And I think he's due, like, right here at 1 o'clock on Sunday.
They lost Chase Young and Sweat.
I was just looking at, so the All-22, they break down game films and all that. Yeah, the Commanders kind of suck. I'm going to be honest with you. I was praising them the last time I was on the show.
I like the wide receiver core.
Yeah,
That's
suck.
about it.
They're not that
Any
good.
love for Sam Howell?
I was gonna say
He's
Sam
leading
Howell,
yardage.
the leading passer in the NFL right now.
He slings it. That's all. I love that.
Shout out Bieniemy.
So the only reason I can't seem to pick the Giants here is because
Tommy DeVito.
Not too many.
Danny DeVito is playing quarterback.
I know.
I thought it was Tony.
I'm calling him Danny.
Tommy.
Tommy.
I'm going to be honest with you. He's
Danny,
terrible.
Danny DeVito.
He's getting called whatever till he fucking.
Dude, can I switch again? I'm going back to
Commanders.
I got Saquon in fantasy.
You don't want to pick Mama's boy?
No, you guys just convinced me. I totally forgot they had Jack DeVito or whatever.
Did you see his dad react to
Jason
the one
DeVito.
He was
that was
pissed.
a terrible play call or something like
Yeah,
that.
he said, what are we running?
Isn't his dad like an arm wrestling champ? Who am I
Nah, that's Bajan.
Oh, it's Bates. See, that guy's so cool. He sucks.
I
but
told
he's
you,
cool.
where's the
He
beanie?
sucks, but he's cool.
Where's the
Arm
beanie?
wrestling champ. What's your dad do for a living? Wrestles arms.
Buccaneers, the first game of the 4 o'clock slate. The Buccaneers at 49ers. And, I mean, the Buccaneers have been sneaky. They were a Hail Mary away. They were a real close Hail Mary away from knocking off our Bills.
Chris Godwin would have turned around.
We'll turn around the correct way.
The other way, yeah.
Imagine what we'd be. We would have had this conversation a week earlier.
Exactly. This week our offensive coordinator would have been our boy, and obviously we see how it happened. But
Niners are a buzzsaw, man. They're back.
I'm gonna go with the 49ers. Yeah, I can't see the Buccaneers beating them, and I'm gonna say that nobody else
like I
here
said,
can.
they got fully CMC healthy. They got Trent Williams back and Debo back, and they didn't look offbeat one bit. Everyone scored but CMC. His streak didn't end.
They tried so
They
hard.
tried
too.
4
They
plays
did.
in a row.
They did.
With
They did
backups
try.
in there.
They did try. That also is going to bring us into
Oh,
what some would say on this podcast, the most important game of the week.
Might be the most important game of the year so far.
I will say that every single
Every-
game now will
will
become
be-
the most important game on the season.
Want to know?
Jets and Bills, man. Joe Brady's interim offensive coordinator debut
tough defense.
in Orchard Park.
Yeah, it's
And it's not against an easy defense.
No, it is not.
But you are going against Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
So at least you can
already
secure.
lost to him this year.
You have lost to him, but at least you can secure
See
probably
what
at least.
he was making last week.
The dude's terrible.
Hey.
The fact that he's still starting quarterback blows.
They said they still believe in him.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because you know if they bench him one more time, it's done.
Right, you can't come back from
Well,
that. It's just like EJ Manuel, dude.
Yeah,
Like
and I think Rodgers just being there on the sideline. I mean, if you go pick, like they were talking about picking up Kirk Cousins or something like that.
That played out right.
Yeah, but like,
Mid-December, by the way.
yeah, no shot. No shot.
He is targeting mid-December.
No shot.
I hope. I never wish injury on anybody, but the way he is, I hope he comes back, and then I hope it's like the same game. It's like, yep, all right,
Dude.
it's gone.
Brutal.
It's gone. I'm not a fan of him,
Yo.
dude. I'm not a fan of him, dude. Like he is the biggest. Like the dude lasted 4 plays against the Bills, man. He made what to me seems like not even, I'd say, a pretty routine football move, and homie's Achilles was just like, nah, we out.
Well, he ain't no spring chicken.
I know he's not a spring chicken. I think the Jets are still one of the stupidest teams in NFL history to go out and
Where do you think they'd be at if he didn't get hurt? I think they're right up there. That's just me.
Yeah, I mean that. Look at their defense.
they've got a phenomenal defense.
Look at
And
the
just-
games they lost.
and just
Yeah.
and
all
if you
one
if you
score.
look at it, I will say
Other than
like
Dallas, but-
I will say he is way better than Zach Wilson. I'll say that, and he will do. All you have to do to be a Jets quarterback to be successful with the Jets, like all they need at the quarterback position is just give about 15% more than what Zach Wilson gives, and that team's probably the Bills are probably 3rd in their division right now,
Yeah.
and I hate the Aaron Rodgers thing. That's the whole reason why I couldn't watch that. I couldn't watch that shit, dude, on HBO Max.
All I'm saying is it's the same offensive line he was with week 1. It's going to take one more hit. Might even hurt it for the worse.
Right. It blows my mind that if he comes back in the middle of December, why is Trey White not coming back and like
Yeah, versus put him onto that surgery.
Trey White got to go see Aaron's doctors, man.
No shot.
no shot. And that is from ESPN, but come on, dude. I can't even look at that. That just pissed me off.
Yeah, shout out McKenna, but
Shout-
no shot.
Shout out to McKenna
I
for
think
that.
What is it?
What we talking about?
She
It
sent
says
us a
that Aaron
picture.
Rodgers expects to be around the team full time by Thanksgiving. What I think's gonna happen is when they officially
Just
get
in the building.
eliminated from playoff contention, he's gonna be like,
No, he's not going to play.
"Dang man, I was actually slated to start this week, but since we're out of playoff contention, I'm
You
just
see what he
not
said to the cameras last week?
gonna-" No.
He was walking on the field, no crutches or anything. They were really focusing on him like he was playing. He's like, not playing today, guys.
You don't like that?
He pisses
it.
me off,
Yeah,
man.
bro,
He pisses me off, man.
It's funny.
The guy is just he's a fucking weirdo, dude. Like
It's a weirdo.
He
but
is a weirdo, but
I don't know, he's funny.
he's funny, but
He's over here going to darkness retreats.
that's
and
why I
shit,
think he's
like-
weird, bro.
But it's funny.
It is
He
funny.
had to clear his mind, dude. Jesus.
Then Josh needs to go on a darkness retreat.
You're damn right. Maybe he does.
Maybe
that's
he
what
does.
needs.
But clearly that seems to not work because homie went on a darkness retreat and tore his Achilles four snaps into his Jets career.
Blame turf.
Yeah, I blame.
I'm blaming Aaron Rodgers
I blame the turf.
for being old. I'm blaming Aaron Rodgers
How
for
dare
being
you.
old.
how dare you age?
You old geezer.
Like you shouldn't be old.
Man.
I don't know,
So who's
man.
winning the game? Did we make a pick? God damn it.
I don't think so.
I know we're talking about.
I think this is gonna be. I think this is
Tell
gonna be an
the show.
interesting one.
There's no
Like-
way the Bills lose.
There's
Not
no
Oh,
way.
but guess what? There is a way.
There's no way we get swept by the Jets.
That Jets defense.
I know.
There's no way we go third in the division.
I would like to say we normally do this. Who are the coordinators? And we don't know nothing about Joe Brady as the Bills' offensive coordinator this week.
And that's why I'm picking the Bills, because this week's a mystery.
You always pick the Bills.
Not next week.
Well, next week's the bye week.
Oh, not the next week after. Ooh.
A little bit of an early hint.
Yeah, it is.
We might have a split that week.
Okay.
Stay tuned.
But
Stay tuned.
we don't have a split this week. Joe Brady
Yeah,
season,
Bills.
baby. Bills. It's
Who
called
would
the.
you be if you did it, man?
Oh, I think McKenna took that the wrong way. She thinks she pissed me off. Aaron Rodgers pissed me off.
Oh.
McKenna, why'd you do that?
I'm not. I'm such not an Aaron
I
Rodgers
take
guy.
blame for that. I started it.
He just starts going off on something. Gabe Davis, Aaron Rodgers.
This is the
They could go play football with each other somewhere else, out of the AFC East, hopefully.
Chris
Gabe
is
Davis
mad
to the
episode.
Jets.
Not out the picture. The Seahawks at Rams. That ends the 4 o'clock slate. Little short, little slate here.
Stafford is day to day or something like that, right?
Heard he might play.
He'll be
Yeah.
back. If not, they're gonna get Commander Carson.
I'm gonna go to the Seahawks.
It's a tough game.
I'm gonna go with
It is
the
a
Seahawks.
tough game. Interdivision. Stafford might be back. But the Seahawks, they're playing good ball.
They're playing really good football.
Really good ball. Some games without DK Metcalf, and they're getting JSN in slowly but surely. This is a beard scratcher.
I'm saying.
A lot of time on this.
Chris, you can do this now.
I already
you can
said
do
it.
The beard oh.
Seahawks. Touche. Hey, this beard. It took some time,
I
man.
see a little,
I've been working on it.
I'll save November.
I'm following that, man.
You are?
This is more like no shave. Haven't shaved since the beginning of October. I don't
Started
grow facial.
early.
Boys, I don't grow facial hair the way everybody else at the table does, all right? It's a process.
Just
It's-
like the team.
It's a process, man.
All right, Sean McDermott.
I mean, we really all are, like, I already picked, bro. Seahawks.
I'll go Seahawks.
All right, I'll
Hawks
go
up
Rams.
To see.
Rams house.
Have we split in the game yet?
This me and you haven't,
Oh, yeah,
but
yeah.
there's the first split. By the way, we have never had a week where me and you didn't split, not a single time.
Nah, Chris had the Raiders earlier.
You're
That's
right.
right.
You're right.
That's right.
Oh, that is
That's
a
a board pick too.
You're right.
That is a split. We still won't have another week where we don't.
I think
completely
we will
split.
split on one of this other next games because we did talk about it. On the
All right. So Sunday Night Football. Two teams that are on a little bit of a winning streak. The Vikings. Ever since Justin Jefferson's got hurt, they haven't lost.
He might be back.
He might be back. So that's why I'm going with the Denver Broncos, baby.
That's good for our fantasy team.
The Denver Broncos, I actually am going to go with the Broncos here. The Broncos, they are coming off of a win against the Chiefs, bye week, and then the Bills. Keep it rolling.
Time to come
Let-
back down there.
He doesn't
Yes.
say let's
Let-
ride anymore.
Let Russ cook, and I think the Broncos beat the Vikings.
No, Josh Dobbs is gonna get this done.
Josh
Yeah.
Dobbs season.
Is it in Minnesota?
Denver.
Denver.
In
All
Denver.
right. So he's got to find his way to that locker room too.
Pass or not.
So is it a Broncos Vikings kind of thing?
Yes. Vikings.
All right, so I'm gonna go
Vikings.
Denver. I don't know. Maybe that'll help me make it up for my Raiders pick earlier in the podcast. But I don't really see how you could pick against the Broncos. That defense is, just so you know, through the first 7 games of the season, that defense had 7 total turnovers.
Mhm.
In the last 2 weeks, 9.
And
9.
He's turned his career around in Denver too. These last couple games.
So
I get where you're coming
And
from.
again, shutting down the Chiefs' offense. The Bills' offense is in shambles. I don't know really what to read on that. But that
Good job,
defense
Broncos.
played.
You shut us down.
The defense played phenomenal. And do you really think that they just stopped Patty Mahomes and Josh Allen? Now I know Josh Dobbs. I'm a big give Josh Dobbs some love, but he's not on the same tier as those two guys that I just named. And it's at home. Come on, I'm giving the Broncos some love.
Okay.
After they
Fully respect.
after they made me upset.
I agree.
And that leads to probably the best Monday Night Football game of the whole entire season.
We are watching this together, right?
Heavyweight
Yeah.
matchup.
This is badass. I cannot wait for this one. We got the Eagles. What is the record? 8-1. 8-1. And then the 7-2 Chiefs.
Yeah.
That is a game. This is a Super Bowl rematch.
Rematch. Yes.
Chiefs don't lose off a bye.
I don't like to pick against the Chiefs.
Except this week.
I'm gonna go with the Eagles.
Going Eagles.
Okay. I'm going Chiefs. I just don't like to pick up against them.
I will say the Chiefs' defense looks really good this year. Probably the best defense Patrick Mahomes has ever had. Their run defense is kind of Swiss cheese.
And this is a good running football team.
It's a very good running
I'm
football
banging
team.
I'm banging the table
But,
for DeAndre Swift.
They don't lose after the bye, but
They're the favorite too.
I'm going Eagles, man.
that's what makes me take the
Yeah.
Eagles.
I'm gonna go with the Eagles.
I like it.
All right, man.
I do like the Chiefs,
So-
especially being home.
Let's take a look at the splits. We got me with the Raiders and Dolphins game, and then we went on a tear of no splits, and then the Seahawks and Rams game. John with the split there, and then we went with no splits for a while. Had that Raiders splits, and after that it was just like no splits for a while, and then ended it with 3 straight splits. John hitting it with the Seahawks and Rams. He picks the Rams. I took the Broncos over the Vikings. You both picked the Vikings, and then me and John agreeing here at the end with the Eagles over the Chiefs, leaving Travis on his lonesome over there with fake Andy Reid. Going with the Chiefs. I'm sure fake Andy Reid's probably going with the Chiefs this week.
Yeah, I'm with.
Gotta
fake
assume,
Andy
right?
Reid.
You bet.
That guy's so cool.
He's a true fan.
That guy's so cool.
That's his job, bro.
That's so cool,
He
dude.
lives that shit.
He does. And he there's obviously not anybody better besides Andy Reid that can portray that type of that guy. It's just kind of cool.
John
Like
doesn't know who we're talking about.
I have no clue what you're talking
oh well, dude. If there was, let me put it like this. This is the best way to describe that Andy Reid guy.
Almost Andy Reid.
If almost Andy Reid. If
Get it right.
if there was a docu film about Andy Reid, all right,
He's the one.
this guy would be playing him. There's no doubt. He looks like him.
Spot on.
Oh, bro.
Well,
Snake will have to show you after.
Yeah, we'll play the clip. We had him on our podcast a couple weeks ago.
about. Got you. Okay.
We got the clip. We'll play it for you.
And
Got
and
it.
he's got a decent social media following. This guy, like people die.
Everybody in
laughing.
Kansas City knows him.
Right, and there's I mean,
Is he the one that gets shown on the TV all the time?
Yep.
oh my god.
I know
man.
exactly what you're talking about. Then
Yeah,
I
that's
kind
him.
of figured that's what you're talking about. I didn't know though.
Yeah, he's
a man.
he's
Yeah.
funny, dude. He's funny. Speaking of, he's the man. I think there's no better time to
Great
jump into
transition.
who's the man. Who's the man? All right, man. So Travis.
I was kind of hoping we just go straight to the keys of the game.
Travis 5 for Travis is 5 for 7, where I'm sitting here 6 for 7.
I'm just so bad this game.
I would
It's okay. I'm a good sport.
and the good news
He's
is
got his game. I got my game.
and the good news is again you have help,
I have help.
and you
2
have
on 1.
Again.
quite honestly you have probably the best help that you could probably have on the
I'm
podcast.
glad.
The only other guy that I could think of in the BillsAholic pod history that's been on here that's just elite in this game is Ben.
This guy is.
I'm curious to see how.
This is who this guy is.
Okay.
I think
That's a better reaction than when you picked Robert Foster. Who's going? Who's
Intimidate you like that?
who's going?
I have
Who's
a
going?
feeling he'll guess it, but it's worth a shot.
Who's going first this week?
You can go first. You can. I'll guess. We'll guess first.
Okay. All right. Who's the man? He went to Troy. That would be crazy. He went to Troy.
Went to Troy. That's the Maroon team in college
Hey, with the T.
with the T. It's not Temple. It's Troy. Troy.
They got the swords.
Yeah. Troy. See, I'm not gonna guess it right off of Troy. I don't know about you, but I'm not gonna guess it right off
I
of
got
Troy.
nothing from Troy.
He's not even he's not even relevant. Troy Polamalu.
Spent two seasons with the Bills. That's not gonna help you guys either. I don't set this up to be. I don't set this up to be. Get it by fact number 2.
No, he doesn't. He sets it up to get by
Troy.
Troy,
He'd have been there like 1 year and dipped from Troy. No way.
and he spent 2 seasons
no
with
way
the Buffalo
he played
Bills.
his whole career with Troy. 2 seasons.
Troy.
I think you guys will eventually get it. Like,
These two are. I got.
so you want me to? Do you want me to go number 3?
I got nothing.
I got
All right.
nothing from
Troy with 2 seasons in the.
Played for 6 teams. I'm gonna give you the order. I have it down in order. I know the one time Travis, he had to go back and look because he didn't do it for me. Played for 6 teams. Those 6 teams were Chicago, Indianapolis, Washington, Carolina, Buffalo, and Houston.
I can't help you, Trev.
Carolina, Buffalo, Houston.
I want him to say it.
Carolina, Buffalo, Houston.
Honestly, I think the rule should be if we get the no.
I suck.
No. John can help you. John can help you. Hear me out. John can help you if you don't get it by fact number 5. I feel like that's fair, right?
See,
Like he can save it for you if you don't get it by fact 5. The 6 teams are Chicago, Indianapolis, Washington, Carolina, Buffalo, Houston.
Carolina, Buffalo, Houston.
And let me know when you want number 4.
I hear you.
You got it over there, John?
No, I thought I did, but
I heard it. Like I'm trying to go back to my roots here with it.
Wow.
I don't know.
Okay.
Carolina,
I thought you had it. That's the reason I
Buffalo,
made that because I was like, damn, like I really want him to actually have a shot at getting this.
yeah.
Carolina, Buffalo.
Well, let me know when you want number 4 because I
The
think
guy I was thinking of never played for any of those teams.
I think
minus
number 4 this fact might help.
What guy were you thinking of?
I don't even know.
Number 4 this fact I think helps.
Go on number 4. It's gonna tell us the years.
Recorded 12 sacks in 2 seasons with the Bills.
So it's a defensive lineman, or is it?
Tank, you got anything over there yet?
I think I'm on the right path.
12 sacks in 2 seasons with the Buffalo Bills.
Mm-hmm. And then when you want 5, you just let me know.
I'm really focused on the Carolina, Buffalo, Houston.
Yeah, this next one will help you a little bit with the years.
That's what's actually really messing me up.
So I'll just jump right into it just to give you guys. We're gonna do this, and I'm gonna give you guys like a 30-second timer.
Yeah, fuck off.
30 seconds.
A minute.
He
Fine.
gave us Troy.
Troy is killing
Damn, bro,
me.
do you want an hour? He played under McDermott twice.
Yeah, we know that.
He played under McDermott twice.
Bro, this clock is taking a long time to dwindle down, man. You guys are lucky.
Played twice.
Dude, I actually have nothing.
Andre Smith? No, it's not Andre
Not
Smith.
Andre Smith.
No.
He would not have 12 sacks in 2 seasons.
No.
It's got to be a D lineman.
I think you guys are gonna be mad if you both don't get it, dude. Honestly.
I will be.
So,
I have one in mind, but I don't
is it
think
It's
I
not
don't think he
Daquan
played
Jones.
with all those teams.
No, not
Like
Daquan
on
Jones.
the active roster.
The frick just went to Houston.
That's where I'm stuck at. Like I got a player in mind, but he didn't play for that many teams.
It's not.
I think
yeah,
I know
it's not-
I think I know exactly what you're thinking
Because
of.
it's not it wasn't Jerry Hughes.
Right.
No, it's not Jerry because Jerry had a stint with he
Right.
started his career with the Colts.
That's
Right.
what I'm saying. Yeah.
Houston just really effed me up.
You still a player?
No,
No.
his last year was 2022.
Dude, I am so lost.
I'm
It's
so
gonna piss me
pissed.
off
Yeah,
because
I'm
we know
so mad.
we know this answer. Just say it.
Is it a D lineman?
It
Is
is it is a D lineman. Say it.
No, it's not him.
Okay, so so the timer went off.
It wasn't.
Travis
Star.
is
It
gonna
wasn't
move to
Star.
Travis moves to Travis. Do you want one last guess?
Give me one last guess, please.
Okay,
And
well,
then
you
we'll
got
do it as a half.
well, you got to come out and say it. I'm not gonna give you another minute.
No, we're just gonna do a half. If I get this right,
Oh yeah. Okay.
go ahead.
we'll get a half a point.
Okay, yeah, no, I'll allow that for the Who's the Man segment.
Oh, you had it.
What?
Wait,
Weren't you gonna give me another guess?
No, he's gonna let you.
Oh, he's
I'm gonna let you give another guess. I gotta look up
Give a
another
guess.
fact.
You got no more facts.
Yeah.
You ran out of facts. You wanted another fact
My last
and another
My
guess.
last guy was Star. But
All right, so
that was it.
I think you guys are gonna be pissed off, dude. Mario Addison.
Yep, I'm pissed off.
Mario Addison.
He did go with the Yep.
He went to the Texans
did.
the same season that I think he went
The same season.
Same season Jerry Hughes went, because they both played on the same defensive line with each other, across from each other.
I'm
over
actually
there.
mad. I actually am mad.
I have no recollection.
He had 12 sacks in 2 seasons.
He did. So that was I feel like I was afraid when I picked him. I was like, ooh, I was like, I can fully see.
He didn't come to mind.
I don't remember anything from his 2 years in Buffalo. I'll be honest with you.
Well, I know
Does he have like a defining play?
He had a sack against Ben Roethlisberger in the home opener.
Yeah, that's a real defining play.
I mean, the only bright spot about him was he was electric in the locker room.
I think he had a sack on Patty Mahomes too, if I'm not mistaken.
Mario Addison. Yeah, I would have never got there.
Bro,
Right.
his first season as a Bill, like he was like
He was
on
good.
the starting defensive line
Yeah.
that whole entire season.
Bad.
All right.
What you got, Travis?
Georgia.
Jake Fromm.
That's a good guess. That really is a
That
good
is
guess.
a really good guess.
Because that did not come to my mind. But no, it's not Jake Fromm from State Farm.
You can just give me number 2.
He's a big boy. Plays on one of the lines.
Wow, that threw me through a loop. Definitely not.
You might have it by like pick or guess.
It is
4.
definitely not Jake Fromm.
No, it is not
No.
Jake Fromm.
Georgia plays on either the offensive or defensive line.
Yes.
Well, I just feel like we both didn't go defensive lineman this week. I think he's an
Maybe you
offense.
did.
I think he's an offensive lineman, and I think he's. I don't know. I gotta go to the next guess.
Well, you are right. He is an offensive lineman. All-American 2010, one of the best guards in his class. Drew got it.
Yeah, that kid capping. No,
Drew texted me. He's got it already.
shout out to Drew.
Shout out Drew Pock.
All-American guard in 2010.
Good job, Drew. Yes. Georgia.
Why am I blanking on like early 2010? So if he's, I guess I don't know if he was drafted by the Bills. I guess, but
He was drafted by the Bills. This is your guess number.
oh, okay. So
4.
you just
Round 2, 2012.
Damn.
He ain't getting it. I don't want to be negative, but it just feels like it ain't happening.
It does almost feel like it ain't happening, right?
It's more of a throw off when you guys do like semi-current players because it's like your brain goes back so far.
You should. I'm not gonna. Just let me know when you want 5, the last one. Because this one, you'll guess.
Yeah, this one you should get it on.
Oh, fuck it, give me 5.
He's played for 2 teams in his career.
And let me do this. So after you say it, I'll hit it.
I thought he was about to look it up.
Nope.
He's played for 2 teams in his career. Bills, Bengals.
Why is that not giving it away for me? Why am I drawing a big blank right now? Because like
You'll be mad at yourself too.
Because like when
If you
when
don't
I,
get it right.
like the only thing that drives me nuts is the first guy that I can think of that comes to my mind that played for the Bills and the Bengals was Cordy Glenn,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna go Cordy Glenn.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to know what's driving me nuts? Didn't the Bills play him at tackle?
Yeah, he slid the tackle from time to time.
So the only thing that drove me nuts about that was I actually had Cordy Glenn on like the third guess, but I heard All-American guard, and I was like, ooh, I thought I remember Cordy Glenn playing a lot of tackle for the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, there goes another one.
So I pulled away.
Prove me wrong.
Oh, Drew guessed on. Drew, you weren't supposed to text me. Good thing I didn't check my phone. He texted me Mario Addison.
that was
Drew.
a good
That's
one,
that's a
dude.
good
That
thing you
was-
didn't. I didn't check my phone.
That would have sucked.
It would have been great for you.
That would have been the
I'd
first
been
time.
like,
That'd have been the.
Oh, Mario.
oh, that's right, 97, Mario Anderson.
I had no
Jersey
recollection
number
of
and
him,
all.
man.
What is that?
So well, this is interesting. I know you see a thick packet of paper here. It's all the same paper. It's in fact 32 copies of the same letter that our friend here Travis wrote up this past week. We want to introduce a new little thing that we're going to bring to the podcast as far as a segment. Travis wrote up a letter here. I'm not gonna read it, but He wrote up a letter here
It's
that
for
we're
the 32 NFL
that we're
teams
gonna
to
mail
read.
out to all 32 NFL teams. We're gonna sit down this week and we're gonna start like, setting up the letters and stuff like that, getting the addresses and getting ready to send these out. We're hoping to receive some sort of memorabilia or signed autograph or something back, and we just want to do like a team opening thing where we can break it down and see which team shows the most love. But yeah, no, that's going to be something that we're introducing. Obviously, we have to hope that something gets sent back first before we can start it. But it's something that
Pour
we
my
are.
heart and soul in that two paragraphs.
2 paragraphs here, and hopefully
that
they
sounded
get the
very
gist.
smart.
So I'm real amped up. I'm real amped up for that. Hopefully, some teams send some things back. We've seen it in other sports pages. They've had some success with it. So hopefully, we have some success with it as well. And that brings me to one of our last things. Shout out to Emerge, as always. Emerge, if we didn't have this, we would not even be remotely close to
We are
what we have
incredibly
right now.
grateful
Super
for
grateful.
the opportunity.
Super grateful for Tank and Moranto,
Shout out.
as we've really been able to put together something that we are incredibly proud of, and that's me and Travis's biggest thing. But also, on that note, Moranto wanted us to touch a little bit on this. The Emerge Media Creators hosting Podcast Appreciation Night, November 16th, this Thursday, 6 to 8, here at Emerge Media Creators. What's the address? It's 2475.
2475 Military Road, Niagara Falls, New York.
100%. Come out and meet some of us and take
Come
a
meet
little
the
tour
podcasters, take a tour.
and see what it's like here, man. It's like home here, man. They treat you well. They take care of you. You see the content we're able to create. Like I said, shout out to Tank. Shout out to Moranto. Moranto is not in house tonight. He is rooting on the Sabres.
They lost pretty bad.
And Tage Thompson got hurt.
Yeah, and we heard that injury seems like it could be potentially. I don't like to speculate, but I heard some things that it's not looking too good for Tage Thompson. So
Does not sound good.
Insert Patrick Kane.
yeah, insert Patrick Kane.
I'm so
He's
against
found
But-
that one restaurant. Chef, right?
Did he?
Recently?
Yeah.
So I
Like
actually
last week.
Mhm.
so I wanted to be known. I actually heard a rumor at work the other day. Like, I actually have the screenshot. This was not even the other day. This was actually yesterday. Apparently, Patrick Kane will sign with the Buffalo Sabres a 2-year deal in between either $3.5 or $4 million per season. Is set to happen sometime this week.
That'd be awesome.
So it appears like that's in the works. And I mean, that's been a rumor that's been tossed around for the last couple of
Dude,
weeks
just
here.
wanna
So
throw this out though. Only one player has ever come back from the injury that Patrick Kane had, and he doesn't play anymore. He had one meddling season, and I don't know. We'll see where that goes.
We'll
Love
see.
Patty Kane.
we'll
but
see. I'm not even.
Sabres
I'll
talk.
get a jersey.
I would get a jersey.
Gotta love Patty Kane.
I'm not gonna. He's a hell of a hockey
Yeah.
player, hometown guy. Maybe not the best off ice guy in the world, but
There's a couple out
here
there.
here in Buffalo, we just want to win something.
Tired of losing.
So
Hey, we got our
if,
bandits though.
if he can come out here and help us, yeah, I know, but
It's not
I don't-
the same.
I watched that Bandits
Buffalo,
championship game
what?
with John.
Watch
With
it.
John, I was like, when they won, I was like, damn, this is.
Can they start sharing the wealth a little bit?
That's what I'm saying. It's like I was sitting there like, wow, this is what it's like to win a world championship. No, it's not, man. Nobody cares about lacrosse the way they care about football and
Yeah, it's a
hockey,
lot
man.
different.
Yeah, nobody cares about it like as much. But no, man. Yeah, come out. Rich, he runs. I mean, we can all speak to that. That guy's he's pretty awesome, man. He runs a pretty
Solid.
cool little gig here. But yeah, man. Anything else you guys want to add to this week's another amazing episode of the BillsAholic Pod? What's this one? Almost 2 hours long.
Yeah, you're about to hit two.
So I won't keep everybody up tonight. Be sure to find us on all of our social medias: Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it. I know the world's still kind of split on that. And YouTube. BillsAholic Pod, but another successful episode. Thank you, John, for coming on.
Yes, sir.
We love having
Much
you on.
appreciated.
And as always, go Bills.
Go Bills. Was that a bad warning?